You're about to listen to TADPOG, Tyler and Dave Play Old Games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet, and welcome to another headphoned and a guest host coming across the waves of the Internet. Ooh. Once again, TADPOG podcast. Tyler and Dave and Ian play old games. And this week, it's a double-decker. It's a doozy. It's a double doozy. It's double D in the cake, boys.
Double deckers when you shit on the toilet backwards? Is that right? You straddle
upper
it?
decker.
That's an up. Oh, that's when you shit on top of the tank.
Yeah.
Double decker, I think, is when you're sitting in someone's lap on the toilet.
I think you're right.
Take a shit.
Which way do you have to face? Do you face them? It's like it's like
I would want to. I feel like you need to make eye contact.
Sitting cowgirl. But
yeah. I think you need to make eye contact.
It's romantic if you're facing. It's platonic if you're back to front.
It's definitely not kiss gay either way.
It's not necessarily platonic.
Well, if we were to do it, how would we set?
If all three of us were doing it?
A triple decker. The rare but fun triple decker.
It's weird that I never thought about this.
Between me and Ian, who would you face and who would you have your back to?
Well, I think that we can all face each other, right? Like a triple kiss kind of.
Okay. You have chosen wisely.
Yeah, we might need a wading pool or something with the hole cut in it, with the funnel going to a toilet. Some scaffolding.
So we're going to be talking about please go ahead.
See if you can guess who this is.
If it's okay if I watch, is it okay if I watch you guys do this?
Fuck, you can join.
Okay.
If you don't want to join, at least hold the camera.
Yeah, or the funnel.
And those dulcet tones, of course, belong to pinball archmage Chris Edler.
We're sorry you're on this episode.
Y'all blew it. You blew my joke for later.
I'm sorry.
God damn it. I can't have any fun on this show.
Sorry.
For the first time since 2017, Sonic Spinball.
Damn. Returning champ.
Returns.
So I'm actually here because I'm with the website ChrisTasters.com, and I saw there was a lot of talk last week. So my masters called me and told me to get in touch with you guys. So what is going on? What are you
going to need you to have a seat right over here.
we need your stamp of approval on this. Can you? You can speak on behalf.
I'm all for Chris Tasters.
Great.
Go ahead.
Great. All right. You've been elected the leader of Chris's, right? So this is good.
Well, let's see. We'll get down to business. What have you guys been up to?
Well, we're talking today about Aerobiz.
Aerobiz and Aerobiz.
Aerobiz. Speaking of business, which we will get to in our second segment. But guys,
yes,
I got a bunch to talk about this evening.
You do?
I do. Lots of things on my list. But first and foremost, I'm going to say this. Tyler, I refuse to be silent.
Okay.
I refuse to be silent.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
That's
why I said, Ian, don't be a monk.
And if you are a monk, be the poor kind of monk, not the I can't talk kind of monk.
Yeah.
And also, Chris and I had about a half-hour discussion last night getting prepped for the show. Mm-hmm. So the two of us are going to gang up on the two of you.
Cool. Okay. Just like at the last prom.
Just like our toilet situation.
Double-decker gang, in effect. Triple-decker gang.
Quad damage.
All right, real quick, I caught up on Attack on Titan. I'm current. Got a half season left at the end of the year that's coming. I guess they were going to, I think, release it all at once. And they split it, so now it's going to be later this year, the last half of the last season. So I'm caught up on that. It's really good. High recommend. Secondly, I got caught up on My Hero Academia. I had 3 or 4 episodes of that. Now I'm desperately waiting for season 7 of that to come out. What I'd like to talk to you about in the anime world
It's our Lord and Savior, Jesus.
Is our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
And I think we should call this segment Anime-I.
Yeah. Well, as far as Attack on Titan and My Hero Academia, you absolutely may. With regards to this other, I've been watching a different show, a new show that a good friend of mine told me about last week called Kill La Kill.
Oh, fuck yes. I was that friend.
You were that friend.
Man, I love that fucking anime.
I can't stop watching Kill La Kill.
Awesome.
I am addicted to Kill La Kill.
How far? I'm
like on
curious how far.
episode 14. I'm almost
So
done.
you're
with
almost
it.
done. Yeah.
And I want more. I might watch it again right after this one because I love it.
It's one of those anime where it's like, yeah, you got to watch it again.
It's
'cause there's
beautiful.
No more of it.
It's beautiful. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
It's well written. It's fast paced. It's action packed. It's sexy. It's got ticks all the boxes.
Studio Trigger, man. I love
Studio
that studio.
Trigger found out that it was Studio Trigger, that they're the ones that did Cyberpunk.
Yep.
2077,
Yep.
which was recently released on Netflix. Another really high recommend. Excellent show. And I've got a buddy or two at work that watch anime that have a whole bunch more that they want me to try that are also from Studio Trigger. So I'm going to be giving those a look.
They've got some.
Whoa.
They have some movie. Did you get an email? Did Tadpog get an email?
An email. Let me quit that. Okay.
They've got a movie called Promare. The studio was started by I think 2 former employees from Gainax.
Okay.
And Gainax did a bunch of anime you've probably heard of, like Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Oh yeah, sure.
And then the one that's most Studio Trigger like is Stocking, Panty, and Garter Belt.
That was one of the ones that I was recommended to watch.
That's a Gainax, but
No, Gynax.
Womanax.
Non-binary Nax.
That's as far as I know, that's published by Gainax, but it's the Trigger
same
people. It's like the
people,
last thing that employee worked on or directed before leaving.
Stalking what?
Stocking, Panty, and Garter Belt. It's
It sounds right up my alley.
you'll know immediately, I think, whether you'll like it or not.
Okay.
Because the animation style, I mean, Nikki and I, we were watching it, and I had to kind of explain to her, the pitch was like, it's kind of like early 2000s Adult Swim. It's more that than it is anime, truly.
Well, I knew immediately that I loved Kill La Kill.
Cool.
And I really want to thank you for the recommend.
Yeah, dude, I'm glad you liked it. I love that show.
I cannot tell you how much I loved it.
Love that show.
There's another show I'm going to watch. This one's on Apple TV Plus.
Frog and Toad?
It is not Frog and Toad. It's based on a manga, though. It's called Drops of God. Have you guys heard of this?
Haven't heard of that one.
Well, apparently it's the story about a woman whose father owns this unbelievably world-class wine collection, and he lives in Japan, and he passes away and leaves her the collection. But apparently his assistant that he's been training in wine tasting and curating and all this kind of stuff his whole life takes issue with the fact that he's leaving it to his daughter, who he assumes isn't able to properly appreciate or take care of the collection, and he'd been training this whole time and he wants it. And so apparently there's this sort of face-off between the two over the course of the season to see who's worthy of inheriting it. So I'm going to check that out and report back soon.
How'd you hear about that one?
It just actually came up on my Apple TV Plus
yeah, you just happened to see it.
Yeah, it happened to be there. So there's that. I'm about halfway through the current and last season of Picard on Paramount Plus. For all you Next Gen fans out there, if you're listening and you haven't watched it, watch it. It's so good.
Ian, I was waiting to see if you were going to talk about this, because if it got around to me of what I've been watching, I was just going to turn it around to you. So you said you're halfway through?
We're halfway through. This one's one I can't watch on my own. Tanya watches this with me. So finding the time for the two of us to be disinterested in whatever else is going on around us enough to watch the last half of it has been tough. But we got through episode 5, and there's 5 more to go, and holy crap, I am so into it.
Yeah. I don't know how you felt about the first 2 seasons, but I was kind of like meh to meh plus on the first 2 seasons. But this 3rd season was pretty much what I wanted for a next-gen show, finally.
Same. And I think what happened was that Picard season 1 and 2 sort of rode in on the coattails of Discovery, which was a complete departure from what we're used to from Star Trek, and still a very good show, but they kind of took that same, I think, mentality with the first 2 seasons of Picard, and I liked them a lot, but this season is the one that I've been wanting. So, I'm pumped.
I didn't hate Picard the first 2 seasons, but I don't really care about him getting sad because his mom is dead.
Right.
I watch Star Trek because I want to see ships do space stuff, and I do actually like Discovery too. But Picard season 3. I don't care if it's nostalgia or whatever. Like, that's what I want when I'm watching Star Trek Next Gen.
Yes, exactly. And then to round out my sort of what I watched this week, going into the horror hole again. My only entry into the horror hole this week is Scream 6.
Oh,
Scream 6 is now on Paramount. I think it's Paramount Plus. But we watched it. I loved it.
Really?
I loved this movie. I thought I was going to hate it.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Scream 5. I won't say that I loved it, but I liked it. But this one was a bit of a departure. I mean, the formula stays about the same, but it takes place in New York City.
New York City
instead of Woodsboro. I waited for it.
Thank
for
you.
that
I know.
one.
I can tell. I appreciate it.
And it's a good entry into the genre, or into the franchise and into the genre. If you like Scream movies, if you're caught up, if you like them, watch it. If you're not caught up, you're not going to get it.
Oh,
so
that
you
sucks. I don't want to watch 3, 4, and 5.
You have to have at least seen 5 to get 6, because it's basic. It's almost a direct continuation of 5.
Okay.
But 5 introduces new characters. It's what they refer to itself as a requel.
Okay.
So they're rebooting the franchise, essentially. There's old and new characters in there, and they kind of work through that. So
multiverses.
Good, definitely kind of a multi. What's multiverses?
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
That's not a thing, is it? No, it's not. What the fuck was that about? They just
we're back to the prime timeline now. We've limited all others. So
yeah, that's probably part of it. It's probably part of it. But I know we had Chris and I, when we were talking last night, we discussed the possibility. Chris, do you have some things to add to the horror hole this week?
I'm not much of a horror person.
Are you not? Okay.
I have a dry horror hole.
That's okay.
Well, what else you been up to, man?
Well, so my other thing I've been watching is XFL football. I mean, I know I just missed the football episode by like 2 weeks, but do you guys even know that the XFL exists again?
I didn't know that it exists. I knew it used to. It's back?
It's back, baby. And if you're in St. Louis, you might actually care about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the XFL did the first time back in 2000.
So
it came back.
Is Vince McMahon still running the show?
No, and I am not kidding. It's actually The Rock and another investor. Her name is Danny Garcia. I don't really know her, but it is still like wrestling tangential because it's The Rock owns part of it.
Right, okay.
So it came back in 2020. St. Louis had a team called the Battlehawks, which is, I mean, if you're going to have a football team, I think that's a pretty cool name. So the city has... So St. Louis, we had our football team taken away. It has moved to Los Angeles.
Right.
We had a football team in the 80s that also moved away to
the Cardinals.
Phoenix. Yes.
Wow.
So
Cardinals
we
used
have
to
a
be
lot
in St. Louis. That's right.
I mean, because it's the Cardinals.
Because the Cardinals.
That makes sense.
St. Louis.
Yeah, sure.
So with that background, St. Louis has a lot of spiteful, like, I got something to show you football fans whenever we get a new team. So we will show up to fill up the stadium just to, give the finger to the people that moved the teams the previous time. So it's pretty it's a pretty good time. So it came around in 2020. Now it's back in 2023. So I went to 2 games this season, and I went to the home opener, and I went to the last game, the last home season, and the Battlehawks wound up being 7-3. They did miss the playoffs by kind of a technicality, but the city has embraced them. Everybody's having a good time. So yeah, I didn't know if there's hardly anyone that would care about this, but and I'll watch football. I'm not a huge football fan, but I'm more of the spite crowd, just showing up to fill up the stadium and scream.
I get that.
What was the crowd like? I mean, was it packed?
I bet the energy at an XFL game is insane.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It really is. So in St. Louis, our stadium holds 60,000 people. So for XFL, they don't open up the upper deck. So basically, you can have about 35,000 people if you just open up the lower decks. And they didn't totally sell it out, but it was pretty close. It was like 38,000, 35,000.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah. And other teams were drawing like 18 to 19.
So you're not kidding about the spite.
Yes.
It is real. The spite is real.
Yes. Stan Kroenke is the owner of the St. Louis Rams that moved. So there are people that have like F. Kroenke jerseys. There are fuck Kroenke chants that wind up happening. And it's just a general energy of like, God damn it, I'll show you that's happening the whole time.
Nice.
So yeah, so those are the 2 things I've been watching is XFL and Picard. And I think the XFL championship, it may be, it's in 2 weeks from today. So I guess it'd be a week from when the episode airs. And it's most likely going to be the Washington, D.C. team versus, it's either going to be Houston or Dallas. They have teams. They have to fight it out. But I'm pretty sure Washington, D.C. is going to take it.
Now, can this be viewed on television right now? Is that on one of the networks?
So sometimes ABC has it. Other times ESPN has it. But if you have ESPN Plus, a lot of the games stream on ESPN Plus.
I do have ESPN Plus as part of my Disney Plus package.
There you go.
All
so
right.
maybe next year I can send you some texts when the Battlehawks games are on.
Do it.
Yeah. So, or if you're in St. Louis, the tickets are cheap. It's like $50-$60 for pretty good seats. Where a regular NFL game is in the hundreds.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll come up. We should go to the XFL game
has
together.
Concluded.
What about you, Dave? What's up with you, my man?
I've been into a couple things, not a whole hell of a lot, but have you guys heard of the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV? I've been playing some of that. Free trial
what year is it?
up to level 60. What year is it?
Yeah, what year is it?
That's a good question. Is this Jumanji trivia now?
What year is it?
I'm working through the second expansion post-patch content. So to answer your question, I'm a little behind. So it might as well be like 2019, I think, for me, because I haven't even started on like
You
the
like that
Stormblood
pre-COVID
stuff.
Final Fantasy 14?
Not really. I think I'll prefer the post-COVID Final Fantasy 14. Because like I feel like the first the base stuff from A Realm Reborn was like the story is not so great, and then it just kind of gets better and better as it goes. So I mean, I'm enjoying this post-patch stuff. I'm playing as a black mage, trying to do something new. That's been fun. Something that's not been fun has been I got a temporary crown on Monday. Put on, and I have to live with it until 4 Mondays from then. So 3 Mondays. I got 3 Mondays to go. And then I can once again eat hard and crunchy and chewy stuff. But for right now, I can't do that.
Damn.
So you're limited to pastes?
No, I mean, I was asking the lady like a bunch of questions. I was like, what about temperature? Can I eat like hot stuff? And she's like, yeah, you can eat hot stuff. And I was like,
But no spicy stuff.
I punched her in the face and flipped that expensive dentist chair, ran out.
Those are heavy. You were mad.
I was really mad.
Damn.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, Dave has one level barbarian.
I ripped the crown out of my mouth, threw it the dentist's face.
Stuck right to his cheek, and then just kind of ran down slowly with his tears. Like he's seeing his hard work getting ripped out of your mouth.
Yeah, he'd probably be a little sad because I did break the first one immediately. When she was like putting it on, she's like, "Okay, bite down gently." I mean, it was like, and she was like, "I think that broke," and I was like, "Yeah, it for sure broke."
Either that, or I've got
in my mouth.
Either that, or I've got another bad tooth that you're going to need to look at.
Yeah, really. Nah, that's
The one
just
above it.
Yeah.
It's the one above it.
It
It's
just sounds
shattered.
like that. Yeah.
The crown is like
that
titanium.
how my mouth should sound?
So then she made like a whole new one, and then she was like, she got done making it, and she was like, "Yeah, this one's probably gonna break." It's like,
Okay.
Cool, that's what we want to hear.
Good to know.
She's like, "Yeah, I had to make it real thin, so just like go gentle on it." Has anybody here in this conversation had a temporary crown before?
No, they just pull my fucking teeth. They don't try to fix my teeth. They pull them.
Well, they gave me.
I had the one on this side, and then my veneers I had temporary.
Okay.
My front four were temporary. During my bachelor party, I had to be very, careful about what I could eat.
Man, I can't even imagine on like one of the front teeth because I
sucks.
cheat. This is a back molar, far as back as you can get on top of my left side of my mouth. So I'm eating things I'm not supposed to. I'm just eating them on the right side of my mouth. Because like earlier today for lunch, I was like, I'm gonna have Doritos. Fuck it. And then like I just ate the Doritos on the right side of my mouth.
I didn't want Doritos until they told me I couldn't have
You get
them.
one of those X-ray
No, I
plates and
want
put them on
one.
the other side of your mouth.
I kind of always want Doritos, right?
Yeah, or like some kind of like use an X-ray plate as a divider. But the reason I ask is because I've got this like, it feels like the cement that they used. Like I can feel it. It feels like when I run my tongue over it. It feels like I've got like this constant peanut butter kind of like texture
Oh,
back there.
I've had a temporary crown, and I remember that. Yeah, that's like a rough texture.
Okay, so it's not. I was worried. I was really bringing this up. I was asking you guys for advice. Like, should I call the dentist? Is it supposed to be like this? And I'm like constantly concerned that I've broken it or like fell off in my sleep and I swallowed it and I don't know.
Yeah.
I know we haven't talked for 5 years, but it's okay. Trust me, this crown is fine.
I trust you. I do. I trust. I told him I did this when I sat down. I was like, I'm going to talk to Chris Edler about this when this is over.
See, he gives us money every month, so he stays in touch financially. It's like he's like grandma sending that $100 bill or $10 bill,
and that's the
every
best
year.
way to maintain communications.
I thought that was part of being an executive producer. Is I get the what is the prima nocta? I can just be on any episode I want.
No, I don't think that's what that means at all.
But you can. I mean, anytime you want to be on, just come on. You could be our fourth host, our remote host.
Prima nocta like costs way more than this.
You can prima nocta.
Yeah.
You can prima nocta my third wife. That's fine. At that point, I won't care.
And then I watched Joe Dirt with a good friend of mine, Ian. Probably don't know him. On Friday, and that was
fun. We had a really good time hanging out.
We'll talk about
we're gonna have a special Patreon episode coming soon to a donors only feed near you. We'll be recording that Saturday with another surprise guest for that Patreon. So stay tuned, and if you want to hear it, you can't unless you give us money like good old Chris Edler here.
I think we should say that the Joe Dirt bonus episode is in fact sponsored by Chris Edler.
I think we should.
It is now.
As long as we remember, it will be.
Tyler,
I
need to
beat
know.
Final Fantasy Tactics. The War of the Lions mod 2.5.
Nice.
The other day.
And what'd you think of the mod?
Loved it. It is, if you're gonna play Final Fantasy Tactics, that's the definitive way to do it. 100%. The version that War of the Lions won over vanilla, and the mod 2.5, but the version that allows you to accept random battles or not.
Ah, okay.
So I didn't use that version, and I wish I had, but that version exists.
So you played the version that you have to do the random battles.
Yeah,
Okay.
so which just ended up me resetting it whenever I got a random battle.
Okay.
So it would have been the same difference.
Sure.
Just a better quality of life.
Yeah,
I'd done the
saved you a
right
little bit.
version.
Yeah, sure.
But the the start of the game is easier, into the game is harder. So there were several battles so before, I remember the battle against WeGraph, like the one with Ramza one-on-one was difficult and not maybe I don't know. But the battle against the Zodiac form of him was much harder than this one. I struggled with several of the Zodiac battles in ways I never have before. A lot of different battles, especially the end was a joke before, but now they've made it where it's actually challenging. So it's way better.
Do they take the grinding into effect? Like, I mean, I guess here's my real question.
They scale with you now.
So you can go through it without.
Yep, you can grind all you want, and bosses will scale.
Man, that's great.
Yep,
I do like that a lot.
And their movesets are different, so they will summon new things. They have different abilities. Like I remember before, I think you would just silence WeGraph again, the goat-headed Ares WeGraph.
Yeah,
you could just silence him, and then easy peasy. Well, I did that this time because he was doing super powerful summon, like way more powerful than he had before. So I silenced him, and then he's hit me with huge mountains of status effects. So the simple stuff is gone. So and then they have better moves, more hit points, like way better, more balance. Weapons are better balanced. So Night Swords aren't the end all be all. You can't double wield. They're all two-handed now, so you can't double wield the in-game Night Swords. So that's better balance.
Mm-hmm.
Axes, everything is better balanced. In the deep dungeon, you always have move find item on, so you don't have to waste a spot with it. You always have increased JP, so you don't have to waste a spot on that because those you feel like you have to have those.
Right.
So and you always get the rare version of whatever item you walk on. So then they've added all the bonus from all the extra content you would play on the PSP version is now in the regular game. Controllable guest characters. I mean, it's just it's amazing.
It sounds great.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely the best one.
And I know earlier I was like, "Oh, good, you don't have to grind." But I immediately after saying that, I didn't want to interrupt you, but I was thinking that's a game I actually really like to grind in.
Yeah,
it's fun to grind in that game because you have so many characters that are leveling different skills at different paces.
Yep.
So it feels like every battle you're gaining something from it. You're getting a skill increase somewhere, and I like that versus, you've got a party of 4 that, aren't going to gain a level. They're not going to gain something from every battle. And that's kind of what's nice.
And then other classes are way harder to level up than others. And in this one, Ultima and Zodiac aren't missable like they are in the other version, which is very nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, what else? I mean, there were so many huge quality of life things. I had another point I was going to bring up about it, but no, I can't endorse it enough. My challenge on this run was not to grind and not use any items.
None?
And none.
Ooh,
Anytime I've always relied on auto potion. I didn't want to play.
I was about to say, so you got I can't remember. They're chemists, right?
Yep.
So chemist was like a job you didn't even touch then.
I put just enough levels to unlock other
jobs.
And even when I had them, that's what I did the errand job so you could get JP.
Right.
So I didn't actually have to use them. Or if I used them, I didn't teach them any skills. I used 0 items in this run. And not using auto potion. I mean, change the game. I think it's a way better game if you don't use the crutch that is auto potion.
See, I think it's funny because... Or it's not funny. It's interesting because I'm learning that we play Final Fantasy Tactics way different. Because I never Chemist was a job where it was always like, nah, I don't think so. And it's not because I didn't think it was mechanically a sound class, but it's like I want magic. Yep. It was very much a flavor thing. It was like, I want mages and stuff. I don't want potions and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
Everybody had item as their secondary skill and auto potion.
Wow.
Every time I've ever played that game.
Wow, that's wild, man.
And items are broken. Items are too powerful. I 100% believe that now.
I had no idea because that's
just that everybody can do it. It's always a big heal, no matter what your faith is. It's always a guaranteed success.
Yeah, that does make sense. Yeah.
And then auto potion is just, there are so many cool skills and combinations of skills that I never got to experience until I played it this way.
Do you think that we're getting in the weeds here? Sorry, but do you think that the range limitation from Chemist like balances at all? Because I mean that was
it does unless you are actually a chemist,
right?
Then you know, expand. Then it's huge. But
how far does it go?
It's like 3 squares out.
Okay,
you can get throw items, so a character could have that, but then you're using 2 skills,
right?
So that balances out.
Yeah,
but I still think it's and then elixirs. You know, they're way too powerful.
Sure.
So I thoroughly enjoyed. All of my melee characters had the Sheer Hidori skill, which in the vanilla game was Blade Grasp.
Oh, I don't refresh me on that skill.
It's like 10 plus. No, I think it's just whatever your brave is. You have that percentage chance of blocking any weapon attack, be it an arrow, be it a sword, any melee or any ranged attack that's not magical or thrown.
It's been a minute since I played it.
Yeah. So that was amazing to play through because knights, I was just like immune to knights. I was just immune to archers. Like it was way more fun than auto potion on everybody.
Yeah.
And then my mages had like other fun skill. Like since I wasn't using items, they had the reaction ability absorb MP. Mm-hmm. So anytime they got hit with a spell, they would gain the MP that spell cost. Since I didn't have ethers and stuff to use.
Right.
So then I made good use of the monk chakra skill that healed and gave MP.
Man, I love
monks. So it was
monks
trying
in that
to be
game.
creative. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I had Zeus since I named all my characters after the people, and I didn't use the unique characters. They were all the regular. I stopped playing that way a long time ago.
Yeah, sure.
Using Orlando, Agrius, all that. No, fuck that. That's too easy. Using your generic characters is way more fun.
That's a lot more fun.
Yeah,
I agree with you on that.
So Zeus came in, and Zeus was my monk into a samurai into a fell knight, which is dark knight, with monk secondary skills like the whole way through the game. And dark knight is a fucking blast. That's War of the Lions introduction. So, and then of course I like Onion Knight, which I don't really. Onion Knight's a time investment. It's the most powerful class, but it's a time investment because
you have to master all the classes, right?
Yeah, and that's the more powerful it is, and they have the most powerful equipment and all that.
And that's grinding for sure.
Yeah,
like
I
that's
ended up
off the
having
table,
to grind
right?
a little bit in order to get some classes because the game was way more difficult than before.
Mm-hmm.
So I did have to break that rule and grind minimally.
Mm-hmm.
But I made it all the way through with no items, so being able to have to cast raise several times, like my mage that had white magic would die. Then I'd lose the battle, so that was way more challenging, and then the mod was way more challenging. So I highly recommend play through Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions mod 2.5, no items,
and you can get the mod from romhacking.net, right?
Yep.
Cool. So I know you were streaming that. Now that you're done with that, do you know what you're going to do next?
Mario, I've never beaten Mario 1. So
okay.
I'm going to play through, just see if I can be able to play through and beat all the Mario 1, 2, 3, and World.
Are you going to play, are you doing Warpless? Or are you doing...
I think I'll do Warpless initially,
Yeah, cool.
Because I've played through 3 straight. I've played through World straight. I've never played 1 and 2 straight. I've beaten 2, but not straight.
Yeah, with the warps.
And I've never beaten 1 all the way through or Warpless.
I don't think I've ever played all the way through 1 either.
Yeah, I need to.
I think that's a fun one to play through because that's one where, as a kid, I didn't beat Mario 1 as a kid. It was like probably in my 20s. I finally beat Bowser. I could get to 8-4 as a kid and be like, I don't know, and I'd die all the
Just
time,
trying to figure out the warps, the pipes to go through.
Right, yeah, the sequence and all that, the maze at the end. And then a couple times I might have gotten to Bowser, but like totally choked. And but you know what I mean? And like, Jesus Christ, I'm here. I have one life. And it's like, but then like later on, well, as a kid, I would always get there by using the warps,
right? Yeah.
But then later on, like probably in my 20s, I played through the whole thing, and it's like, man, this game is. I mean, I loved it as a kid, but like even playing it then was like, it's like a really good video game.
Yeah, I just want to be able to play. I'm going to play it long enough that I can do a straight playthrough of 1, 2, 3, and World on All Stars, and then I'll find a different game.
Yeah,
I think that would be a fun thing to just sit down and knock all those out.
Yeah, totally.
So
Cool.
then I might do Hollow Knight. I'm kind of feeling Hollow Knight again.
Again?
So yeah,
Uh,
I
the
think
s-
that'd be fun to stream.
what about the sequels? The sequel's supposed to be coming out?
Forever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Silk Song has been like supposed to be out fucking forever ago.
Okay.
You see, I've seen amazing trailers,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's still, we'll see. We'll see when that happens.
Okay. Oh, cool.
You guys want to do a draft?
We can. Chris, you want to do a draft?
Sure.
I think as he exists on the astral plane, we should let Chris go first.
Well, what are we drafting?
All right.
Yeah,
I
what are we
have
drafting?
I have my master list of ideas.
Can we do movie theater snacks this week?
Okay.
That was I picked that one last week, or I came up with it after the show last week. And I think that's what I'd like to
I was
do.
on the list. Sounds good to me. You good?
And,
Yeah.
and I get to go first, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I worked at a movie theater for like 4
Fuck!
years.
You brought your
So-
ringer,
He's a
Ian.
ringer.
You got the inside track, man.
Yep. I did not know. So, I mean, I got to take popcorn, but I have to take popcorn as soon as it is cooked and soaked in oil, because that's how we would eat it as employees. We would get it before it even hit the bottom of the tray and get the nice, greasy, oily popcorn.
That's a good pick. I mean, that's my pick. That was my pick for sure. I'm hoping. I don't know what the order is after Chris, but I've got one. Maybe you guys let me slide.
Let's see. 1 and 2, Dave. 3 and 4, Ian. 5 and 6, me.
Sure.
Dave.
All right. So popcorn, but no butter.
I was gonna specify because Melissa loves butter.
It's
I do
different.
not.
It's a different snack. I can't eat it anyway.
Man.
But popcorn, I got to go no butter as well.
Dude.
I like the salt.
Yeah, I love the
Yeah,
salt.
I do not care. Melissa always wants it in butter. I do not.
Man.
Though you're right, two different
I
things.
used to love that. I used to love that butter, like as a kid, and then I guess like in my early 30s, maybe was when it started. I started like coming home from the theaters and being like, "Oh my god, I have to like shit really bad," and for like,
that Olestra ran wide through me.
yeah, yeah, and then everything's all like, it's all like. It's like a fucking lubed up shoot for the rest of the day. It's like I gotta like plan my diet around the buttered popcorn. So yeah, it's non-butter for me. And then when I switched, I was like, oh, I actually like this a lot better.
Ian.
So the stuff I'm going to pick today is actually stuff that I generally will not eat unless I'm at the movie theater, with the exception of a couple.
Bananas, onions.
I do like a nice fish sandwich.
Microwave.
I had to clean up so many of those off the floor when I worked at the theater. It was disgusting.
Oh, good. So I'm not the only one who likes a nice fish sandwich. I have mine finished usually though before the fucking movie starts. So that's when I start eating the onions. Then I just peel them
Like
off.
apples.
Yeah, peel off layers, just chomp. By the time I'm done, I got the whole theater to myself. My first pick is Raisinets.
Damn.
Raisinets. Oh, wow.
Damn.
I don't always eat Raisinets, but when I do, it's at the movies.
Fucking love Raisinets, man.
Yeah, they're
So
fucking good,
good.
but I could
They're
eat myself
so
sick
good.
on them.
Hell yeah.
And so hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
So
yeah.
there it goes.
You feel good about that? That's the first time you got to say that on there.
But yeah, and I love the way that movie theater, that candy comes in generally in boxes in movie theater, and I know why. It's crinkly wrappers make too much noise, so they want you to have a nice soft.
You can go to Five
Box.
Below though and buy those boxes.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Kroger has a bunch of movie theater candy on sale right
Oh, do
now
they?
too, so I'm gonna have to go get some. But that's my pick, Raisinets. Sorry, Tyler. Not sorry.
I don't like it when they put the plastic bag inside the box, and I don't know if they do that they probably don't do that at movie theaters. But like if you go to Kroger or something and like buy a box that kind of looks like it's like a movie theater, they always have the plastic bag
Inside.
In it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the idea being that you get those out, get that
Right.
off before the movie starts,
Right.
and then you're just. But people don't know how to close their mouths when they chew anyway.
I sure as hell
so it doesn't really matter how much noise you make. Someone is always going to be noisier.
So my favorite movie snack is a combination of two of the movie snacks, one of which has already been taken, so I will choose the other half of my snack. One is non-buttered popcorn smashed together with the Junior Mint.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I haven't.
Love that.
How do you do that?
Put them both in your mouth at the same time and eat them.
Oh, you eat them. Just eat them at the same time.
But yeah, I find it the crunch and the mint and I love it. I think it's fucking great. So I will pick number one as Junior Mints.
Interesting.
So, Chris, I have a question.
Yes, yes.
Did you, when you were working at the movie theater, did you ever fall asleep in the projection room and then wake up to find that everyone in the world was dead but you and several other people that were in steel rooms protected from a rogue comet?
That did not I'm still here, so that did not happen. We would start the movies and then go off and do other work. So there was not an actual projectionist that would sit and watch the whole movie. So you kind of get the film already, start the movie, and then like check your schedule. You might have another one you got to go start in the next 5 minutes. So there was no time for rapture or any of that kind of bullshit.
You didn't have sex in the projection room?
I mean, when I was in high school, I wouldn't have been having sex anyway. So
Did you jerk off in the projection room?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Thought about it.
Frequently. I was referring to Night of the Comet. For anyone who doesn't know that classic movie from the 80s, you should watch it. It's a great horror film, Night of the Comet.
This is a total aside, but
I told you my horror hole was dry.
I didn't expect anyone to understand that reference.
I sure as hell didn't get it.
If you get the chance, I recommend Night of the Comet. Go ahead, Dave.
Was The Fog the movie that was on, what's the name of the Joe Bob Briggs?
No, it wasn't The Fog. Neither one of Tanya's picks for Joe Bob Briggs was correct.
Joe Bob Briggs. Okay.
They fucked around and
they found out.
Well, they fucked around with the sets. They were trying something new, and everybody got mad. Like a lot of fans got really pissed.
Oh fuck!
And also, it is still possible that they will be showing The Fog this Friday on Joe Bob Briggs because Walpurgisnacht is May 1st, which is Monday, I think. So there's still time, but that was not the movie. Dave came over Friday. Tanya was about to watch Joe Bob Briggs, and she had predicted 2 movies that would come on.
And they sound like
never tell
sound
you
predictions to me.
Yeah, they were definitely sound predictions. They never tell you what they are ahead of time, and she turned out to be wrong. But there's still hope. There's still hope.
The predictions were so good that it was like, you should do programming for this channel.
She needs to work for Shudder. Like everything. If anyone that listens to this show thinks I know shit about horror movies, I got everything I know from her, and she still manages to surprise me because she thinks about it a lot more than I do. So yeah, Shudder, if you're listening, call Tanya. She wants to work for you, I think. Particularly Joe Bob. She would love I think it would be cool to work on Joe Bob's show, but
you can reach her at 270-883-2555.
We'll be sure and get that message.
Eventually.
Right?
Oh, man. They called. They offered her a job, but it was 5 years ago. Chris, you're up. Your second pick.
Are you pondering or did we lose you?
Chris?
Oh, yes, sorry, I'm muted. I'm unmuted. I'm going to say Mr. Pibb because I can remember.
Taking the drink angle. Good job.
We had a soda selection, and I remember it was an event when Mr. Pibb showed up at the theater. They had signage with the "Put it in your head" with the cartoon guy.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like Mr. Pibb, the guy. Mr. Actual Pibb showed up.
Never met him. Never met him.
Father, please.
They call me Mr. Pibb.
I think that's completely gone now. But yeah, when I think of the theater, like Mr. Pibb comes into my head, and that's a desire that will never be fulfilled again. I don't think.
You can still get Mr. Pibb here, just not at the movie theater. I don't think.
Okay, sneak it in.
But you can bring your own. I mean, we do not encourage that. Yes, we do. Bring your own shit.
Yeah. Of course.
Dave?
I can't remember what movie it was that we went to see. I think it was the third Christopher Nolan Batman movie, but I remember seeing that opening weekend, and like they show all the trailers, and then the lights dim down for the movie to start, and then it was just No, he just can't. It's like, I mean, it was like surround sound of like Cokes opening.
Is this viral marketing? I want a Coke now.
I've got my giant fucking like $14 Coke, and I'm like, you motherfuckers! Why didn't you tell me we were doing this? I didn't know you just did this in the open anymore. My second pick's gonna be I gotta go nachos.
Nachos.
I don't everything after unbuttered popcorn. I never actually get at the movie theater, but I like because I get the popcorn. That's what I want. But I look at the menu and I'm like, oh yeah, I like nachos, but I'm gonna get this popcorn, so I'm not gonna get the nachos.
That's the better. I think that's the much better investment.
Nacho. I don't want to eat nachos.
The kids have to have nachos. They have to have
do
nachos.
they?
So I always, anytime I go to the movies, I'm buying at least 2 things of nachos. Yeah.
I don't want to eat nachos in the dark. It's kind of like part of it.
It's
you know
a little
what I mean?
dangerous. The cheese is hot and it's a crunchy bag.
I will and do eat nachos in bed, but I won't. But not in the dark.
Bring a bib.
Yeah,
Bring a sheet to put over you.
or like one of those like a poncho.
Yeah,
The Gallagher poncho.
Yeah.
Ian.
Well, this one is featured in a previous list of mine, but it is one of my all-time favorite movie treats. Sour Patch Kids.
Sour Patch
Good.
Kids.
You didn't take my second one.
Big question. When you're done with the kids, do you then eat the sour sugar?
Of course I do.
Okay.
I'm not an animal.
Okay.
Yes, I
I
love
would be
that shit. It's
immediately
deadly. It's so bad, like it's good.
And then
Like,
you lick a battery.
They come down.
yeah.
That's your Narcan. Number 2, because I would have had Raisinets at number 2. So in place of that is its cousin, the Goober.
Goober.
Yeah.
The goober.
Oh man,
Goobers are good. Well, that made me think of another good one.
chocolate covered peanuts. For those of you that aren't familiar with a Goober.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know that I've ever had a goober,
Oh man.
but I'm gonna try that Junior Mint popcorn. Next
I
time I
love
go, I'm getting a box of Junior Mints. I'm gonna try that.
And the best Junior Mint is the one that warms up in your hand and sticks to the corner of the box. So you got to rip the box open and dig that Junior Mint out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Junior
All right.
Mints are fucking good.
I gotta wait for
love
this
it.
permanent crown before I can do it. Man, I've been craving popcorn fucking crazy, and that is one where it's like I can't just eat that on the right side of my mouth. Like we were watching a movie the other night, and it's like, fuck, god damn it! And then someone at work did some popcorn in the microwave, and it was like, man, it smells so good, but I know it's gonna pull this motherfucker right out.
So you got to put this fish sandwich in there as revenge.
Just yeah, right.
10 minutes.
Chris, you're up. What's your third pick?
Okay, I'm gonna go for Milk Duds.
Damn
That's our-
He
yeah,
took one of mine. One of my honorable
Something else-
mentions now gets moved into
Something
fourth.
else Dave cannot eat with the temporary crown.
Yeah, for sure.
That'll pull your real teeth out, so much less a crown.
Yeah. When I went to get my root canal, I don't know if I told you guys this or not, but like the root canalist,
Canalist.
yeah, sorry,
The root canalist.
he was like, "Man, your roots are like long."
I have that problem.
Thank you.
Thick.
They're thick. Got them thick
They're
roots.
uncircumcised.
He was like, "It's a good thing you didn't have this pulled because like they might have had some trouble."
That's why the dentist had so much trouble pulling that fucking last tooth out because my roots are also very long. They're way up there. And yeah, he really had to fucking pull on that sumbitch.
He was throwing numbers out there like he was like it was like a bass fishing tournament or something. It was like he's got like a 22 millimeter.
Get a picture of this one.
With a hook in your mouth, holding your lips back to show.
I've seen that movie.
Stands with your X-ray, like for a
Yeah.
picture.
It's my go.
It's your go.
I'm gonna choose a cherry icy.
Yummy.
I'm going with the cherry icy.
It's good shit.
Very good one. Ian.
My third pick. This is something I rarely ever eat outside of the movie theater. Twizzlers, red ones, red Twizzlers. I love them.
You could have waited till 5 to get that from me. Like, it's like just artificially colored wax.
Yeah, no, they're
one of a few things
terrible.
I cannot stand.
They're terrible, but I don't know what it is about it. I guess it's just they're easy to like sort of munch on throughout the course of a movie.
Do you like red vines?
Nope.
Because I do feel like it's one or the other.
I like the waxier
Yeah.
Twizzlers. They're more chewy.
Yeah, they definitely are.
But no, don't care for. I don't like it when my teeth can sink right through it. You know what I mean? Just like kind of. I need it to fight back.
You got thick roots. You got to use them.
That's right. Yeah. Can't let that talent go to waste.
The alternate title of this episode should be where Dave humble brags about his long tooth roots.
Oh, that wasn't a humble brag. I want everybody to know that I'm fucking proud of these goddamn
It
roots.
says it says so on it. You guys
I
can't
can feel
see
them at
this.
the bottom of my jaw.
Yeah.
You guys can't see this, but his fucking shirt says, "I got root."
Roots.
I am root.
My number 3 would be the sister to the cherry icy, the Coke icy.
Dude, Coke Ices are my fucking jam. Kmart, baby. Used to go to Kmart all the time. Anytime we would go to Kmart, I would beg my mother to let me get a Coke Icy because it was about the only place you could get them.
Oh, I wanted those Minute Mart slush puppies.
Man, slush puppies are superior to icy, but I don't think I've
Never seen one at a movie.
I've never
theater.
seen one in a movie theater.
No,
Yeah,
I disagree. I think Ices are the S tier frozen drink.
I love an icy. I love an icy until it's halfway.
Yeah,
And
then it's
then
like
it gets dicey,
watered down Coke.
Or then you gotta like oh shit, I drained this hole. I gotta like make another, and then you gotta like stir it up like a witch.
Yeah.
A little cauldron.
Right,
yeah.
But a slush puppy's just straight up like, yeah, it got a little ice in
Yeah,
there.
slushies definitely stays consistent longer.
Yeah.
Because it's not that packed down sort of thing.
Yeah.
Chris?
Okay, I'm gonna go for Mike and Ike's.
Mike and Ike's.
Fun
I
fact.
don't know if you
Go ahead.
combine those with the popcorn, and you kind of get like the taste of Fruit Loops. I always enjoyed that.
Shit, I'm gonna spend a fortune once I get this permanent crown on. Go to the movie there, get popcorn, Junior Mints, Mike and Ike. I'll bring the candy. I guess.
Cousin to the Mike and Ike, not on my list. The hot tamale.
Tamales.
Love those.
Oh yeah.
two.
I prefer those to Mike and Ike.
Playful 8, my first band, the Playful 8, had a song called Mike and Ike about the candy Mike and Ike's. So, just fun fact for that.
Do you have a preference, Mike over Ike, or
No, I'm equal opportunity. Mike and Ike.
is Ike a reference to Eisenhower?
It might. I'm sure there's some.
And Mike a reference to Pence.
Let me look,
I like a good Pence and Eisenhower.
I'm looking it up.
Dave, number
I think-
4.
It's me.
Did Mike and Ike get divorced at some point as like a publicity stunt?
I now pronounce you Mike and Ike. I'll go with. I hope these are in a movie theater. I'll go with Whoppers.
Yep.
Yeah, that counts.
Oh, yeah.
That definitely.
I do. I
are.
love a good Whopper.
Great. Yeah, I love them too. I've just never had one in a movie theater.
I remember seeing them. It's fair. Ian, number 4.
My number 4 is snow caps. Snow caps. Do we know what snow caps are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I haven't thought about those in a minute. They're similar to Junior Mints, aren't they?
They are. There's
But
just,
they've got, like, the
essentially
little
they're just
beads
like
on the top,
chocolate
right?
drops with sprinkles.
Yeah.
There's no mint.
Oh, okay.
It's just chocolate drops.
Are the
with
sprinkles
on
are
the
the
outside?
Okay. This right.
Snow cap, yeah.
Are the They're like white, right?
Yeah.
Do those have a flavor, or are they just?
I think they're just like sugar.
Just sugar,
Just
okay.
like candy.
See, the best Junior Mint is one that's been released recently where they're covered with little bits of peppermint. So they look like the Spinies from Mario Bros. Only, so they're a little more crunchier from the little shards of peppermint.
like
in them.
like on peppermint bark.
Yep.
Kinda, oh man,
they're fucking
God, I
great.
love peppermint bark.
Okay. Real quick interjection here. Mike and Ike. People have claimed that the name may have come from the comic strip Mike and Ike. They look alike. which had ended by the 1940s, or the name may have referred to the Matina brothers, two of whom, nicknamed Mike and Ike, were billed as circus dwarves and had roles as munchkins in the 1939 film The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, sorry about your asbestos.
Sorry about your whole recording.
Yeah, sorry about your entire
whole production.
process
Right,
there.
yeah. Sorry to hear that Toto was paid more than you.
Other proposals include a company-wide contest, the creators' names being Mike and Ike, a vaudeville song titled Mike and Ike, and Dwight D. Eisenhower, whose nickname was Ike. Just Born acquired the Rada Candy Company in 1953 and produced new flavors of the candy, such as cotton candy. That sounds delicious. Additional flavors, such as root beer, also sounds delicious, came in the 1960s, and others have been introduced off and on since. So there's really no clarification as to the origin of the name.
It's a mystery.
Some things are better left unsolved, maybe. I don't know. I believe it's...
My number 4.
Yeah.
My number 4 is something I loved as a kid. I do not like them now. I think they're gross now. I know a lot of people love them. Primarily, my kids fucking love them. And the first time I ever saw them was at the movie theater, and then the next time I saw them, they were at Hollywood Video. That is Cookie Dough Bites.
Cookie dough bite.
Cookie Dough Bites.
I'm not familiar with them.
Do not like them.
Never been much of a cookie dough fan.
First time I ever saw
anyway.
was at our movie theater.
What is it like an eggless cookie dough?
It
or?
just it's cookie, like some kind of cookie dough simulacrum covered in chocolate.
Covered
Tyler,
in chocolate.
I can remember those coming out at our movie theater, and that was the first time I'd ever seen them too.
Yep. So I was shocked when I saw them in Hollywood Video. Then my parents would buy them for me. They would not, when they didn't buy anything when we go see a movie. The 3 times we ever did, no snacks, no drinks, nothing whatsoever. I wanted them so badly, and I knew they're never gonna buy me anything. I'm never gonna have these. And then when I saw them in Hollywood Video, they bought me a box, and I loved them then. I think they taste fucking gross as hell now. But some people probably like them. So number 4.
Are they from because there are other candy that have bites. Like, doesn't like Butterfinger have like bites?
Yeah.
BBs.
Is it like that, but cookie dough?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
You've probably seen the box. It looks like
Maybe.
yellow background with curtains on the side.
yeah, I'm going to look it up.
Yeah. But Chris, your last one.
Okay, I'm gonna go a little out of left field here and go with Boston baked beans.
Those are so good. They are from the Ferrara Pan Company, creators of Lemonheads and Cherry Clan, as I've mentioned before.
The old Tadpog staple, Cherry Clan.
Boston baked beans. So good, so good. They're like sugar babies.
Yeah, kinda.
I've seen the box before. I remember seeing the box as a kid and like seeing that it said beans on there.
Be like,
and it was
no,
like, never.
no.
Never.
Baked
Never.
beans? I don't want that as
They
a
eat those
candy.
on toast in England.
That carried over into like adulthood. I'm still like, nope. Nope. Didn't trust him as a kid. Don't trust him now.
Yeah, they taste like sugar babies. They're the same kind of candy. It's caramelized sugar, basically.
I'm looking at my list here, and I'm surprised I have any teeth left.
No shit, man. I get it.
We to me.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure I've seen Airheads at movie theaters before. So Airheads.
Okay.
Yep. I like Airheads.
I like Airheads. They're like a go-to gas station candy for me. I love this draft very much, but if it could be like top 5 rappers of all time, dial on. I mean, it would be popcorn for me the whole way down the list. Yeah.
Okay. My turn.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Hot dogs. I don't eat many hot dogs, but a movie theater hot dog, I love having a hot dog in a movie. I think it's good. I rarely buy food items, like, it's mostly candy for me. But if I'm hungry enough, if I miss lunch, I will buy a hot dog, and I love them.
It's like a good hot dog.
Especially if they've been rolling around on that skewer for about 48 hours.
I like the hot dog rotator belt. I like all that stuff at a gas station. Melissa thinks I'm disgusting when I go in and I'm perusing all the flavors on the rollers. So my number 5 is something I never had until Jacob and I went to see, I think it was Gangs of New York in Murray.
That's a thick boy to go see in the theater.
Yeah.
That movie's long.
He bought these in the theater, gave
my
me
roots.
one because they are expensive as hell, but they're so good, and that would be Dibs.
Dibs. I remember Dibs.
Oh.
Dibs. So they had the little freezer, and it was like $6 even in
Yes.
2002.
So that's what I was thinking of when you said the cookie dough bites.
Oh, okay.
And I couldn't remember the name of Dibs because that's just straight up. That's like bonbons, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
ice cream covered in chocolate. Yeah.
and Nestle
Ice cream covered in
pieces.
crunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and chocolate.
Yep.
That's like yeah. Those are great. I love those.
Dibs
Do they
are great.
exist still?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Chris, any honorable mentions?
Oh, just like free soda and free popcorn, because that's all we would do. Take the free soda and free popcorn. I'll say M&Ms. How about M&Ms?
That's a good
I can't believe
honorable
no one picked
mention.
that.
Yeah, yeah. I love M&Ms, I guess, but I think I love them because I'm supposed to. But I'd stray from that because I feel like I don't get any of these other treats unless I'm at the movie theater.
Yeah, M&Ms are common.
Yeah.
I like dots.
Dots
I
are
think
fucking
dots are
good
like
as
Jack
hell.
loves dots.
Yeah?
One of the few things he will just like, fuck yeah, and eat is dots.
The most fun part of dots is honestly for me is picking them out of my teeth after I eat
Yeah.
them. I mean that
It's-
sounds
it
like,
is. No,
but
I
it's,
get
it's
that.
satisfying.
That's
It
why.
is.
That's why I like Swedish fish in a movie theater. That's my honorable mention. Will be Swedish fish.
Yeah,
Don't care for Swedish fish.
I love Swedish fish. There's a Swedish fish energy drink that I really like.
Bottle caps.
Bottle caps. I like bottle caps. A lot of people don't. I feel like that's
I
a
do too.
controversial one.
Very
But
good one. And sweet tarts. I put as
Yeah,
a movie theater
Sweet Tarts.
treat because, again, it's one of those things I rarely even think to eat unless I'm at the movie
that's a
theater.
gas station one for me too.
Yeah.
I eat more candy at the gas station than I do at the movie theater.
Yeah, oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And
You buy the candy at the gas station and take it to the movie theater.
right. That's totally what I need to start doing. Other than then, I probably actually eat it because whenever I'm just watching something, I'll pretty much eat. I won't think about it. I'll just be like, yeah, it's a treat.
Yeah.
I can eat whatever I want in this dark room for 2 hours and it doesn't count.
It doesn't count. It's
Right?
in the dark.
It's like vacation.
Time has no meaning. Calories have no meaning here.
Right. Yes.
It's like during road trips too. It doesn't
Right.
matter.
Oh my God. Yeah. I have to be careful on road trips. That's when I eat all those sweet tarts and airheads and pork rinds. That's a big like gourmet food for me.
Combos is a good road food for me.
Combos.
That's pretty much the only time I eat those.
Yeah. Like can you buy combos like not at a gas station? Like can you go into a grocery store and get
They're
combos?
at the dollar store.
They have them at Kroger and stuff, but like usually they don't have the neat flavors. It's usually
it's
like
just nacho
pizza
cheese
or
and
nacho
something else.
cheese.
Yeah, that's true.
And then, but at the convenience store, there's the buffalo type.
Yeah, the combos folks know
Oh,
like
man.
where shit
Honey
sells.
sriracha combos #1.
Fuck.
Buffalo
Damn.
blue cheese #2.
Buffalo blue cheese are fucking delicious.
Honey sriracha.
Honey sriracha
Wow.
is fucking phenomenal.
I bet.
Yep.
Let's do a combos draft next week.
I couldn't. I mean, sure. I need to do some
We have to
research.
Google combos and just pick them out. What sounds good?
Right now, I'd be like, pizza.
I need to go to the gas station for some things that I needed for the show. I'll be right back.
It's been a long time since I had combos, but yeah, that's a good road trip food.
You guys want to take a break and then get into Aerobiz and Aerobiz Supersonic?
Yes.
Let's get down to Aerobusiness.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome.
And we are out.
Ipana presents Bucky Beaver's Space Guard.
Brusha, 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 here's the new Ipana with a brand new flavor. It's dandy for your teeth. It's the K-germ, and he's headed this way.
I'm gonna make cavities in everybody's teeth. Now, Beaver, I'm gonna blast holes in your teeth. Ipana!
New Ipana knocks out the K-germs best of all eating brands, including fluoride toothpastes. Brusha, 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 here's the new Ipana with a brand new flavor. Knocks out the K-germs best. Fresh, clean, and minty, you'll like it. New Ipana toothpaste.
All right, we're back. for the game talk.
Talk.
All right, Aerobiz and Aerobiz Supersonic. Whenever Dave printed the randomizer, and your name was entered beside this, Chris.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I requested this back when I was there for the Sonic Spinball episode. So little peek into Chris history. I'm an aircraft mechanic.
Yes.
That's what I went to college for. So I went to SIU Carbondale, and after I graduated, I went up to Chicago and I worked for 3 different airlines in 4 years. I started August 27th, 2001. So 2 weeks after I started my career, September 11th happened and kind of put a little shakeup on my plans.
Damn.
Yeah. So I worked at Midway Airport for about 1.5 years, and then I worked at O'Hare Airport for about 3 years after that.
I've been to O'Hare.
Me too.
Most everyone has, right?
Right, it's a big hub.
So
It's because of this game, right?
Yeah.
I'm legitimately curious. How did, like, I know how September 11th affected a bunch of people. I don't want to make this dark or anything, but
Oh no, listen. I've got all manner of September 11th shit to bring up during this part of the show.
Okay.
I am not even kidding.
Okay.
So, but it is what it is.
But I'm curious, how that did affect you, Chris. I mean, I know it changed things, but in what way? Because I don't really understand. I don't understand airports or how they work, and that's apparent
right.
by this.
How much time do you have? I know it's getting late, but
I think a good 6-hour episode would be refreshing.
Let's say
Yeah,
we
that's
turn this
fine,
into a
that's
9/11 episode.
Tooth Roots and 9/11 Talk, episode 713.
Chris shows up for 9/11 talk. Oh my lord. Well, okay. So I'm going to try to do this as quick as I can. So before 9/11 happened, there was a lot of talk about all these people that got hired during Vietnam era. They're all going to retire, and they're going to need so many airplane mechanics and so many pilots. The airlines are going to be hiring people like crazy. So when you go to college, that's a really good job to go for. So there was kind of a lot of us that were there were a few airlines that were paying really well, and it was kind of okay, this is your goal, go start now. Started a little commuter airline flying to little cities like Springfield, Illinois, or Lexington, Kentucky. I think we flew there, South Bend, Indiana, places like that. So you would start off at a small commuter airline, work for 2 or 3 years, then hopefully make the jump to United Airlines, American Airlines, Southwest, whatever, and then 5 or 6 years later, you're making $30-40 an hour, and everything's great. But September 11th, it did other things too, but it kind of shook up the whole process of how long it would take you to climb that ladder to get a good job working for the airlines or any aviation job, period.
I don't know how that translates to. I mean, you'd think the demand would go up for,
Or they all
good
stick around
mechanics
just
and
because they
good
felt like it's our duty to stick
personnel.
around, or
From what I saw, firsthand experience, the airlines really started cutting back and laying people off. It's kind of like what just happened with COVID a few years ago.
Well, I was going to say, is this because of the financial problems of people suddenly not wanting to fly because they're scared or they're afraid they're
Yes.
like they did with 2020 with COVID and things like that?
Yeah, COVID was a much bigger version of this and a longer time, but September 11th kind of threw a year-long wrench into the whole process. So during the 3 or 4 years after September 11th, United Airlines declared bankruptcy, American Airlines declared bankruptcy, a few other large airlines merged. So every time that would happen, some of the experienced mechanics from the big airlines would get laid off, and they would trickle down to those smaller airlines, the commuter airlines. So then when the commuter airlines are filled up with these experienced people, then the dudes straight out of college like myself didn't have a place to go. Right. So I did manage to stay employed in the years between 01 and 05 at airlines, but I was always one step ahead of being laid off. a couple of the airlines. So I work for 3 airlines. One of them is still in business. The other 2 are long gone. I don't think that's my fault, but that's my record.
That's not what they said.
Yeah, we have a letter here I'd like to read. No, it's just...
We have 2 more special guests.
They finally found me. It's been 20 years.
Long story short, I caused 9/11. I'm sorry.
They were supposed to bounce off.
George Bush gave me a lot of money.
I didn't know that jet fuel would go right through steel beams.
It's crazy what I was responsible for without even realizing it.
I hated Pete Davidson's dad.
God.
Oh my Lord. Wait till we get to the achievements. I have a 9/11 achievement.
I do too. I do too.
All right.
Oh God, I hope they're the same. And we
Virtual high
definitely
five.
did not collab on
You
this.
guys would be twins.
I was gonna ask something about that too, and now it's slipped my mind already. Oh, so with regards to Aerobiz and Aerobiz Supersonic, so this Dave, remind me, when did this game come out?
This was an early game. This came out in 1992 for in Japan. The original did. And then it had a 93 release, I believe, in North America. And then the sequel, Supersonic, came out in 94.
So, Chris, my question for you on that is, did this game play a part in your desire to become involved in working for airlines, or was this after the fact, after you had already kind of been in there and you found this later? How did that work?
Yeah, so this was actually an after the fact thing. I when I was in high school, about my junior year, I kind of started drifting towards wanting to become a pilot. I took a free flight in St. Louis. They were, giving away free flights in a small plane. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do. I took that flight and it was like, wow, like this is really cool. Like people do this for a job. Why wouldn't everybody do this? You know, I'd be stupid not to. So I kind of drifted myself towards the aviation in general. Then I went down to SIU Carbondale and I started my pilot classes, and I did about 80 hours. I do have my private pilot's license, but during my classes, I discovered that I would get airsick, which had a bad thing to happen.
Right, when you're driving the plane. Right.
Yes. So I had flown on plenty of airlines as a teenager, flying to Florida, California. But it's a whole different thing when you're actually flying the plane and having to like look down and read a map and look at the instruments and look outside.
You just
And
learned to
it
throw up with your eyes
really
open.
did a number. I'm sorry?
You just learned to throw up with your eyes open.
Yeah, exactly. That there was one time where I was with my flight instructor and I did actually get sick. And that was kind of like, okay, pilot, not the job for me. So then I decided, I still wanted to be around aviation. I had kind of gotten the bug. It's it's fun to be at the airport, seeing things happen, seeing planes fly.
I love it.
Yeah, I don't mind
It's a
hanging out
cool
at the airport.
feeling, right?
It is. Whenever we were in Louisville for the Arcade Expo, John and I were at this bar, or it was actually a different type of bar where girls take their clothes
Oh,
off.
I thought you were taking your exams.
Yeah, I was taking the bar exam. Then we went to a bar.
We did that for fun. John and I decided to go take the bar exam.
Hey, you think we could be
At the
lawyers?
Arcade Expo. So they have the home console room, and then they have the bar exam
Right.
room.
Let's go to Indiana, see if we can pass the bar.
Walk-in bar exams.
Yeah. So bar exams served here. So anyway, we were out back having a smoke and looked up, and there was just this giant plane flying right overhead. And I can't, when I'm driving into Nashville or something and I see the planes landing, and I can't take my eyes off of it. So yeah, I get that. I get that pull. I do. I love being at the airport.
I think I remember an Onion headline pretty recently where it was a guy sitting by the window seat in an airplane, and it said like, area moron looks out window of airplane like it's 1956. I still, every time I fly, I still want to look down, and I'm like, hey, there's my house. There's the highway. I know what that is. I just, for whatever reason, it just got me.
And
I
I
just like it.
I've flown a lot in my life, and I'm still all about looking out the window. So I get it.
And if you were in Louisville and it was late at night when you were passing your bar exam, most likely that would be a UPS
I didn't pass.
plane. That's probably why it was big.
May have been. Yeah, it was very. It was coming in.
Louisville's big.
Yeah.
cargo hub.
Yeah, it was coming in for a landing. I can't remember what the markings were, but yeah, it was cool. Like just look up and giant plane flying over.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I said, I just kind of sort of drifted into it. And I guess I can back up a little bit and just say, I grew up in St. Louis, and for a long time, McDonnell Douglas Aircraft was based in St. Louis. So we built lots of fighter jets in St. Louis. The company McDonnell Douglas also builds commercial airplanes, which are in the game.
Hey, I know them.
Yes.
From a movie.
From this game. What movie?
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember it was a movie with, I think, Tom Selleck and the guy from Batteries Not Included, the dad. And he had Alzheimer's, and he found a bunch of stock in McDonnell Douglas. And he would always talk about McDonald's. We'll take you to McDonald's, Paul.
I know
the whole
that.
time he wasn't talking about it. He was talking about the stocks that was worth $1 million that he had.
I do remember that. I don't remember
wow.
the movie, but yes, I remember that.
Very
anytime
cool.
I hear
Okay,
that, I
yeah.
think
Did
about
not
that
know
movie.
that. Did not know that.
Let us know in chat if you know the movie.
bit.ly/TADPOG Discord.
Yeah, I don't even remember where I was. Oh, just why I got into aviation. So yeah, I had to do something besides pilot, so I kind of slid into the maintenance. And I've always been I've built a lot of models when I was a kid, of planes, cars. I guess I'm good with my hands. So aircraft maintenance seemed to be the next logical step when you can't be a pilot. So it was kind of like choice number 2 in the draft for career is what I wound up taking.
And so then you found Aerobiz and was like, wait, this is cool. I could pretend to be an airline CEO.
Basically, yeah. It was just kind of like, it was more like, I can't believe they made a game for like the 4 people in the world that would find this
Right,
interesting.
exactly.
And hey, there's 4 people can play the game at the same time, so that works out perfectly.
There you go.
We only have to make 1 copy.
Right.
So we may all live together.
So yeah, like you said, Ian, these games are airline management simulators, business management simulators.
Yep.
You're handling all of the negotiation.
Minutia
You're right. Yeah, you
of
got
flying planes.
Yes, and there are different scenarios where they will tell you that you need to meet you have to make a certain number of connecting flights, and you'll have to meet a certain quota for number of passengers, or it might be you have to meet a certain profit margin. And it's all stuff that I don't have any experience with, and was very difficult for me. I know. I've lied on my resume. I lied on my podcasting resume. CEO of McDonald's Planes.
It checks out. Whatever.
Turns out one of the fastest ways to wreck your shit in both of these games is to lay off Chris Edler and lower your repair budget.
You
that
are
takes your
gone
shit real
after
fast.
See, I was struggling with something else because in that you bring up the budgets. Yeah, you have there are 3 different budgets. There's the maintenance budget, the advertising budget, and then the service budget. And it's I had the opposite problem where it's I'm scared to lower any of these. Max.
As you should be as an airline employee. Yes, do not shut that down.
Yeah, but then meanwhile I'm shit.
I'm hemorrhaging money.
And what fucked me is I didn't really understand in the beginning of the game when I started it. I didn't understand how the slot system worked. You have to send out people to negotiate with airports. They negotiate the number of slots you can have at the airport. And it's I didn't really have a gauge of how many I needed. So I was being
And you only have so many sales reps too to send out.
Right. And I didn't see a cost for those either. So I was I don't know how much I'm spending.
Give them all. I want them all.
No, I would the opposite, which was a problem because my budgets were all max. So I'm I don't know. I guess 2 slots. So I'm buying 2 slots at all these different airports, and I'm doing really good for 2 years. And then what happens is the competing airline in North America, which is where I was based, was started booming, and I was like, "What the? How are they destroying me?" And I'm looking, like I'm looking, and it's like, "Oh, they have like 8 slots at every airport."
Yep.
Oops, I guess I should have bought more of those. And they're like, "Can I buy some now?" No, sorry, they're all full. And it's like, well, I guess I quit.
Yeah.
Because I don't. What can I do?
go bankrupt.
I'm done.
Yep. So look at the box art for this game.
I
What'd you
want
think?
this one first.
Okay.
Okay.
The fucking box art for the Aerobiz. Tell me that this isn't a guy in the fucking World Trade Center getting ready to get hit by a plane. He's even holding the phone like he takes it away from his ear, and he's looking like, Jesus Christ, I think that plane's...
That plane's pretty close.
Doris, is that plane close?
He looks like Michael Scott. I think the guy on the box
does.
looks like Michael Scott.
That is the first thing I thought of when I looked at this box art. Because of the perspective, it looks like the plane is banking around, and it's in New York. You can see the Empire State Building in the background. I mean, I was like, this is crazy.
It would make sense that that's where he is.
I'm surprised.
Right? I
Yes, because I think you're smart to start in New York, obviously, but I mean, it's just like, you know, some conspiracy theorist out there somewhere had to have picked this as a prophecy, some foreshadowing. Thank you. I could. That's all I could think of.
I know the evil vegan in the Scott Pilgrim game. Now he will have designed this game. So tell you.
I mean, just take a good look at the box art and tell me that this guy isn't in the World Trade Center about to get hit with an airplane.
I saw a TikTok about the first Mario Brothers movie. Like, this didn't age well to where stuff is happening in our world that's happening in their world. It's like, what's happening over there? And the trade towers just disappear.
Oh,
it's like, oh, okay, that didn't age well.
And then the one for Supersonic, I don't know. That one's even weirder in a different way. You've got like this woman standing right next to what looks like the same dude, so he must have survived 9/11. And
well, hit that other building. I guess I'm safe then.
He's holding his hand up like he's talking and gesturing with his hand, but honestly, it looks to me like he's demonstrating how he'd like her to stroke him off, because she looks like she's just, I don't know, like an android sex slave.
Doris!
It's Doris 2.0. Doris did not survive the first game, the 9/11 in the first game. So this is Doris 2.0. I don't know. The box art was just upsetting and disturbing to me.
A little Gordon Gekko-ish.
Ian, what bothered me was it's only like a year and a half difference between when these games came out, and the first September 11th box is kind of like normal time. The guy's talking on a cell phone. By the year and a half later, when Supersonic comes out, the guy's looking at a hologram, and there's some fucking space plane that never existed.
Right.
That's what bothered me.
So it was the future.
Mm-hmm.
What bothered me was on the box art, the logo for Aerobiz, the O in Aerobiz looks like the plane's goatsy. It's like the designer was like, I know it would be cool. And it's like, that doesn't make sense. Making the O part of the plane doesn't make sense because planes don't have big O's on them.
That's what they thought they'd look like in 2020.
Maybe.
Since that's a mode. I'm glad it says like business sim on the cover, so you don't get tricked.
Right.
Yeah, that is true. And I honestly do think, especially in the first game in Aerobiz, I feel like the art direction on it is it's done really well because it feels corporate. Like this does not look like a child's game. This looks very much like we know the audience. We're gonna target that audience instead of, like you said, Tyler, instead of tricking kids and thinking this
your
is a
uncle
flight
will have
sim
this
or
and you will play it when you're over there, not understand
this
what's
is an
happening.
uncle game, like 1,000%.
Yep.
Not even a dad game; it's an uncle game.
My dad maybe would have played it because he also has that aviation bug, and I could. Here's with my dad, though. I could see him appreciating the business sim, but I think he'd get frustrated with it at a certain point and be like, "This is fake money. Why am I doing this?"
Right.
We could make real money.
Let's start our own airline.
Right. Yeah.
I've got what I need.
I've been trained.
Well, after your experience playing this game, if you were to compare it to a movie or celebrity or anything like that, compare your experience, what would it be?
Can I please go first?
Yes.
Because I really don't want someone to take this.
You're going to take mine.
I don't know.
At least one of mine.
I don't know.
If not both.
I'm trying to beat Chris Edler because I feel like he might come in with this angle.
Well, you go first then, Dave.
I'm going with Eric Clapton.
Oh my God. Yeah, go ahead.
Chris knows what's up. I'm going with Eric Clapton because I played as an American airline in Aerobiz Supersonic, which I preferred over the original. So I spent most of my time with Supersonic.
It's a better game. It's a better game.
Everything I didn't play the other one because I heard everybody's like Supersonic's way better. I'm gonna spend my time on this one.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The reason I went with Eric Clapton is because I played as a North American airline. And because of that, I spent a lot of time on the North American map.
Mm-hmm.
And each map for each continent has a different song. The song on the North American map is Tears from Heaven. Like it is Tears from Heaven. Like if it were on the Weather Channel, like in the 90s, it is. And it's like, I don't know how they put that in the game because like it's, I mean, I'm assuming the Clapton lawyers never heard it.
Well, probably not. Someone probably had it stuck in their head on their way to work and had to sit down and write the music for Aerobiz Supersonic today and didn't even realize
fuck,
it.
That's due today? Shit!
Dude, this is good. And they're like, gosh, this is a great song. We're definitely
Tom
using
did this?
Let's Muzak this shit.
Chris.
Yeah, I'm crossing that off my list because that song is playing in my head. Absolutely.
I had to turn the music off because it started to, it loops, you know, and it's like, all it did was make me want to listen to the real song.
Yeah. My movie pick of the week for this was Catch Me If You Can, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, because in this game, you pretend to run an airline with no real actual knowledge of how to be an airline CEO, much like Leonardo pretends to be an airline pilot all throughout this movie. Pretty good movie. It's all bullshit now, we find out later that...
Which makes sense.
It is. The guy, Frank Abagnale was a con man.
It almost makes it better, honestly.
And it's just recently been uncovered that everything that took place in that movie, which was heralded as a true story, but it was a true story that was told in the words of a con man, and turns out most of the shit that happened in that movie wasn't true. Doesn't make it any less of a good movie. In fact,
I think that's the moral.
I think, like you said, it makes it a little better.
That's the essential unreliable narrator.
Yeah.
So he made all that shit up and then became the FBI analyst based off fake information.
And he still does that work, and that's good for him. He managed to get himself into a good, lucrative career. But yeah, that's the movie I picked just because, especially the airline stuff from the 50s and 60s when it was just in its infancy.
Right, yeah.
And it was such a big deal.
And
I love that era when we talk about if we're talking about airlines and travel, that era was my favorite to read and watch stories about.
I'm curious how it really was, because I feel like it's idealized now.
Oh yeah,
it's
probably.
very super fucking sexy. You know, like anytime it's shown,
like Austin Powers.
Yeah, I mean everything about it. I mean, like, and I know that people used to like dress up when they would go fly. Like, you know, men would wear suits and stuff. But like, I'm curious, like
they'd have somewhere to put their cigarette cases,
right? Yeah, I want to know like what it. I wish I could go back in time
just to observe and see if it was just really like that, or if that's the marketing from the 50s
Right.
that really. And of course, I'm a sucker for marketing.
Sure.
Have 4
Especially
cocktails with the pilot, then get on the plane, smoke a cigarette.
Yeah. Well, and especially old school Mad Men style marketing that was like super groundbreaking and creative, and they really threw their whole creative energies into everything, And I do think, it's like my grandmother's kitchen wasn't like the kitchen of the future that they would have in the little expos and fairs and stuff that you would see
In the carousel of progress.
Right.
Exactly. It wasn't like that, but it was close.
So
it was the
Do you guys want to know what happened?
Yeah.
So okay, the airlines used to be regulated by the government. So and I'm not going off on a crazy tangent here, but the airlines used to be
9/11, man. It's 9/11. I'm telling you.
So the government used to tell a certain airline, you can fly from here to here this many times a day. So the airlines up until 1978, the only thing they could compete with was service. So it was like, hey, we're going to give you the cigar bar, or we're going to have the best food or whatever. After 1978, the airlines were deregulated, and then it was just free for all. Like everybody's trying to go for the lowest price and fuck the next guy over. And that is why it changed from the 50s happy time to like cattle car like it is today.
Wow.
Okay, so it probably was fairly close to what we've been led to believe.
I would tend to think so, yeah. I mean, because that's all they could compete on was service, not schedule,
and we'll
not
never
flights.
experience that.
Nope, it's gone.
Not about paying $10,000
Right.
for a seat.
Yeah, I also think about that where it's like, someone like me would not be flying in an airplane in the 50s.
Oh yeah, I'm sure
It's-
that was akin to space travel.
Right.
Yeah. I can imagine it wasn't terribly affordable.
Well, it wasn't when I ran the airline because I jacked those prices up every time, 50% over the profit. Yeah.
Tyler, what movie did you pick?
So I have a certain celebrity in a certain movie.
Oh, okay.
So Leslie Nielsen in Airplane.
God,
Nice.
Oh yeah.
don't call me Shirley.
So Leslie. So the game, Leslie Nielsen is the game. Dry, straight, stoic. But I think this game has still a lot of value and is fun. So Airplane the movie.
Okay.
So straight, dry, but still fun.
Still a good entertainment.
Right. Leslie Nielsen in Airplane.
Okay.
Okay.
Chris, did we hit your movie?
Not yet, and I'm going to go a little more just straight laced here. Have you guys watched the movie Wall Street recently with Charlie Sheen and Martin Sheen?
It's been a minute, but I've seen it.
So a lot of the plot of that movie is about Charlie Sheen. His dad works for an airline as a mechanic, and Charlie Sheen, the stock trader guy, is bringing Gordon Gekko, the big corporate raider guy, and they are trying to fuck over Charlie Sheen's father's airline to make money.
Yes.
So I think the most straight-laced answer is Wall Street, because it is you're running an airline and you don't really know what you're doing because that character in that movie doesn't know what he's doing.
Okay. Good pick.
So what about a Nick Cage movie?
Con Air for everybody, or
Yeah, Con Air.
I mean, that's mine.
That's
Yeah,
mine.
say it at the same time. Con
World
Air.
Trade Center.
Is that a movie?
It's a Nick Cage movie
I didn't know that.
Me neither.
because of 9/11.
I'm noticing a theme here.
I'm not coming off of this.
You sounded a little like Arnold. Because of 9/11.
Oh, he's my
World Trade Center because of 9/11.
he's my cousin. Did you not know? I forgot to mention Arnie. Cousin Arnie.
I didn't.
Actually, he's my uncle, and he had this game. See.
That makes sense.
And then we sit around and played it and talked about 9/11.
Damn it, I'd love to watch Arnold Schwarzenegger stream this on
Airport
Twitch.
security, it does nothing.
No, I didn't go Con Air. I was like, I had forgotten that that he was in a movie about the World Trade Center, and yeah, I did Nick Cage 9/11 movie. Boom, first hit. I was like, oh yeah, shit, I'm picking that one because of 9/11.
Chris, what'd you have?
I did Wall Street. Oh, Nick Cage. Yeah, Nick Cage,
Cage.
just Con Air. That's
Con Air, yeah. Everyone else said Con Air.
Con Air.
It's fair. All right, how about 3 good things?
Wake up, sheeple. It's World Trade Center.
Nick Cage did 9/11. Wake up, sheeple.
You guys might wind up
Very
drawing a whole
insightful,
different audience.
Sharon.
I don't care. We want people to listen. Bring it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna-
Sorry. 3 good things. I thought picking the era in it was a cool feature. You could pick the 2000s or the 1950s or the whatever.
The dawn of
Yeah. I think that was kind of neat
That
that you
was
could
neat.
do that.
I like that.
Basically, in my mind, that splits it into 3 whole games right in one because it's totally different economics and totally different travel habits and things like that. So, yeah.
With 4 different difficulties to each one.
Exactly. I mean, that's, and I like that they could take advantage of the system and essentially create all these different modes without overcomplicating it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a really cool feature to me.
I thought it was great that you have you were talking about the different modes. I thought it was great that 4 people can play this game.
Yeah, that is cool.
I think that's neat. I think it would take forever. I don't think you'd actually finish a 4-player game because it's like, unless you're a family that does nothing else but play Aerobiz, like we bought it, we're gonna finish it, like one of those dudes. It's Saturday.
7 weeks of this so far.
That's the only way I think you can finish a game. It's kind of like
Who turned off the Super NES?
You want a car for your 16th birthday? Well, you got to beat the whole family at Aerobiz Supersonic.
you can save the game. So there.
That's right.
So
That's right.
There is.
That's right.
There is that. But
I just pictured. I want to play Mario. No.
no, we leave that on. It's like burned into the screen. Like you're watching the news and you just see the
panel at the
16-bit map of North America.
The family eating breakfast with Tears in Heaven playing in the background.
But I thought it was great that 4 people could play. I think it's funny to me that your options are when you choose a player, it's like either CPU or man. It's not like 1P, 2P, 3 man.
You are man. One of the other things that I thought was neat about that part of it where you could pick the era was I think it would be cool that they do a ROM hack of it so that we get actual like flight economics from 9/11 era and COVID era because the last year in is 2020.
2020, yeah.
And that would have been right smack around the time that COVID was affecting air travel as much as it was.
Perfect time to just end the game and say, fuck it.
Right.
Yeah.
Aviation's dead.
The real conspiracy is that, I think. Why does it end in 2020?
Think about it.
Man.
I like the SNES has this option. A lot of times I don't think these games translate super well, but I'm glad that they're there because I was much older by the time I got a PC.
Yeah.
So this kind of stuff was just I didn't get an opportunity to play it because it wasn't out there really.
Yeah,
so
it was
glad it had an
definitely very
option.
PC centric for this type of genre.
And even the other games that the developer Koei had done don't have this business lilt to them.
Oh, it's way more approachable than all the other Koei games. In my opinion.
Because it's not a war game like a lot of those are.
And it makes you can wrap your head around this one more than medieval Japan or.
Oh yeah, no, it's
medieval
totally
fantasy
relatable.
land,
Everybody's been to an airport. Everybody's been on an airplane.
Not everybody has assembled 8 gems to reconstruct an evil dragon.
I mean,
not everybody.
I did not do that for a job straight out of college.
I thought like the economy and profit margins and all that kind of stuff was fairly easy to understand. I mean, they broke it down into the simplest possible terms, but still made it feel realistic. The city having like a points value for every city based on like, the amount of tourism is this number and the amount of business travel is this number kind of thing.
Yeah.
To help you easily decide whether or not this was a city you wanted to fly to type of deal, or how you're going to maximize profit. So yeah, I thought that was well presented.
Yeah.
It could have been a lot more complicated. It wasn't terribly
it's
easy.
pretty complicated.
but it wasn't as hard as or as complicated as it could be. If this were like a PC version of this game, I would see being a hell of a lot more complicated. You know,
I
a
agree
lot
with
more
that.
nuanced, but harder to play. Like this is sort of like baby's first airline CEO simulator for the big guy, for the big one when you get to the PC and you really want to get into the hard shit, you know.
Yeah, I agree with the sentiment. I do feel like this is a pretty complicated game.
Yeah, no, I don't mean to imply that it was easy.
Like
by
they
any
could, like this
stretch.
game could have been a lot simpler than they.
There's some shit I still didn't understand, and got lost. And
But I think for its audience, it's just right.
Yeah.
I think for the type of person that wants to play this game specifically,
especially in 92, 93.
this
I
is
mean,
spot on.
There's nothing else like it at the time.
Yeah.
how about some? Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, Chris, is this game? How do you play this game? Is this one that you take seriously, that you come back to, that you really love, or is it just nostalgia? What is this for you?
Well, it's definitely nostalgia. So it's not like it's something I play a lot, but if you to put yourself in that mode and start sending flights to certain places, and I guess the things I like about it is that like. There are actually the real aircraft manufacturers, and the timeline.
That is cool.
Right.
That's like
and
having
the maps are very correct. So like McDonnell Douglas, they made the DC-9, and it comes out in 1969 or what. Like the 747 came out in 1970, and that is in the game. So you can kind of get ready to set these routes up, because I know this plane is coming out this year, and that's what I want to get ready
That's
for. So
great. I love that.
that is really cool.
And it's, to me, that's like having the actual football team names in a football game. That I'm sure, Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, but that has to add to the enjoyment and the realism of the game for a fan of the genre.
I would not be anywhere close to interested if it was all like fake, GTA car
That's
style
cool.
stuff.
I thought, speaking of that, like one of the things I thought this was delightful, because I was playing in the early age. I thought it was hilarious when like I got like a notification. Hey, there's this new company, Boeing. Have you heard of these guys?
They're not gonna amount to anything.
They want to know if we want to buy some planes.
Give them a chance. Give them a chance.
Yeah, that is really neat that they can do that. But I wonder if they had to, pay licensing fees. I mean, I didn't see any like recognizable logos or anything.
Man,
Well,
they do
at the beginning of the game. It does run through like a copyright screen, so I think they probably did pay.
Okay.
Yeah, there are a lot of trademarks, because that blew me away. Because when you do start the game, it's like you got to wait, and it's like, damn, I wish this game would hurry up. And then I'm looking, I'm like, why is it? Oh, and it's like
okay,
companies
I didn't catch
and corporations.
That. I think that just says something about the dedication that the developers had to make this. As they wanted this to happen, like, and be realistic, and I think they knew that maybe having the actual manufacturers and stuff in the names and stuff was important. That's good.
Yeah.
That shows a lot of character.
I think it's obvious. It's apparent that they cared about this game.
Yes,
I mean, not
definitely.
only in that regard, but that's a huge one,
Right.
But also particularly in Supersonic, I thought the graphics were nice. I mean, I thought this was a nice looking game.
Sure.
And this is another one where it's like, if we're going back to like PC comparisons, I think if this had come out on the PC, which it did come out on a Japanese computer, but if like an American company had made a game comparable to this on the PC, I think it would be way uglier. And it's just because I played a lot of PC games in that era, and boy, I mean,
probably would have been pictures.
They were pretty fucking ugly for a long time.
Right.
So how about some bad things?
I didn't have a whole lot of complaints about it. I think that's because it's so genre specific, and that's really, or I say genre specific, I mean more like, I feel like, first and foremost, I think this one probably required the manual, like hardcore.
So that's one of my bad things is I've looked at the manual and I did not think it was sufficient to properly teach you.
I went in raw dog. I normally read the manuals, but I knew this one was going to be long, so it's just like, fuck. I had Monday off. I took Monday off because I was like, fuck it, I'm going to figure it out.
Dave, I am sorry for ruining your Monday to make you play this game all day.
No, I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, I played it. I play these games for hours. And that kind of leads into like one of the bad things about it is that I think that it is things take an unnecessarily long amount of time. I don't know how much of it is
the menuing is way too long.
Right. I don't know how much of it is a hardware limitation because switching between menus isn't snappy. There's like a
the text has to finish before you can do it.
You can set it to fast.
You can set it to fast, but that's not fast enough. You can hold down on down on the D-pad to make it go faster, but
it just feels clunky.
It feels slow. Even then it feels slow. But not only that, it's like switching from I don't know, the menus where it's like the budget menu to the flights, the connection menu. That takes a long time. It takes longer than it should, it feels like. And to me, it feels like, well, that's just kind of like, that's like a limitation of either the programming or the device.
Right.
Because it's not snappy.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that sounds like a minor complaint, but after playing the game for probably 3 hours, I thought, I'm not very far in this game at all. Like 2 years has progressed and I know I'm learning it on the fly and that's part of it. But once that caught up, I was like, fuck, it's taking forever to do the things that I want to do, or it's taking longer than I feel like it should.
I would have appreciated a tutorial gear, or that you could have just seen it show step by step. Like, well, look at this, or in the instruction booklet. With the instruction booklet just explained what everything was, but it didn't tell you how to assemble all the pieces.
I could have seen, like you're saying, Tyler, a tutorial was like, let's get you started.
Right.
The first thing we want to do.
All right, Junior, let's
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Kind of walk you through the basics and then turn you loose.
Be negotiating for slots. Always be negotiating. Start off with that.
ABM. Yeah.
Put that nice. Coffee down. Are you negotiating? Did you negotiate any slots
Coffees
today?
for slaughters.
Coffees for slaughters.
It's like they always say.
Where did it lose you or gain you?
Well, I liked the game fine. It's not my jam. It's not the kind of thing that I generally go in for, but I can appreciate it. And I think for the kind of person that is into this sort of thing,
hello,
right? Like Chris, for example, I think right away it won me over immediately from the perspective of if I were. I wasn't going to shit on this game because it's not my thing.
Sure.
I went in
but
thinking...
you can see where if it's your thing, it's like,
if it were...
fuck, this is great.
This is great. I think so. I think it's right off the bat. They serve up exactly what I think that type of gamer is looking for. And so, yeah, right away. Delivered.
I think this could translate well into a board game or like a mobile game.
Ooh,
like
I would
modern.
love...
And there may be a board game. I don't even know.
A board game of this would be cool. Of something like this would be really neat.
There is one that's not exactly like this. It's called Airlines Euro.
Okay.
It's real similar. I think it's may even be designed by the same person who designed Ticket to Ride, which is a train game where you're trying to connect train routes. Airlines Euro is similar, but there's this where you're trying to connect flight routes, but there's a stock mechanic to it where it's like you're buying stock in some of the other players' airlines and that stuff's going on top of it. So it's not as in depth as like Aerobiz
Right,
is,
but it's a
but I
board
wouldn't
game.
want it to be, right? Because it's like now you got to do, if it's a board game, you got to do all this bookkeeping by
Excuse
hand.
me,
you know?
I need to bring up a spreadsheet
Right, yeah.
on my computer over here.
Yeah, the only board game that comes with Microsoft Excel.
You actually have to turn on Bloomberg and watch. Okay. Whatever it says, I have to do a modifier by. Okay.
Wow, this is way more complicated than Pop's Ghostly.
Eventually, it was just got too cumbersome for me to keep up with. Trying to read and then figure out what everything meant, what everything does. So Ian, I'm with you. Like, not my thing. I could see where it could be my thing. If I were not at this point in my life,
Sure, it's a
it
good
could have been my thing.
time waster.
As a kid, if I'd gotten this, like I've got it already listed, like buy, rent, or birthday. Under certain circumstances, this would have been a buy for me.
I think it would too. Absolutely.
Because like because I talked about my friend Mitch who got me into Final Fantasy games. Well, his sister, super genius. She graduated with John Turley. John knows her. She's like a judge now in McCracken County. And anytime I play Final Fantasy with Mitch, I would go in where their friendly computer room was, and she was always playing some sort of simulator, like Surgeon Simulator, or anything like that back in the day, like very serious games. I would watch her do it and ask her questions. If she was playing something like this and could teach this to me, then I would have been interested in it, bought it, and went home and played it.
And you could, I think, too, it is a good buy because you could play it again and again and again and have different outcomes every time. Try different ways, different things. And so, yeah, if you're a fan of the genre, this is a definite buy.
Tyler, just think of this as Final Fantasy Tactics, but with airplanes, and then you're on.
Nice.
If it were like a chocobo breeding simulator, but only instead of airplanes, it's chocobos, and you got to go get the red chocobos, or they take more fuel to get from here to there. But the yellow chocobos,
I think you're onto something.
yeah.
You just invented a mobile game.
Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah. Trademark.
Chocobo Tycoon. There,
Chocobo Tycoon.
How about you guys?
It lost me at the amount of time that I realized it would take me to finish a game, and I liked the game, and I was surprised by it. I was surprised by how much I liked it. But Chris, I have a question for you. Have you ever finished a scenario in either of these games?
I'm going to be completely honest with you, and I really haven't beaten the game. It's more I'll just play it and mess around, and then get sidetracked and do other stuff, and then come back and play it and mess around.
Well,
but now that I've had to play it more recently, I kind of want to get back into it, so it sucks me back in.
Well,
is there an end game? I mean, is there a beat?
They give you goals, like you have to hit a certain goal,
right?
and I think you can beat it.
Well, the reason I asked is because I'm relieved to hear you say that, because I don't know who could sit and finish that scenario, because it's it takes so long. But I agree with you, and I agree that this is a game that I feel like I could pick up, play for an hour, set down for 3 weeks, come back, pick it up, and then play for an hour, set it down. You know what I mean? I feel like I can play this over a very long period of time and never finish it, but still enjoy it.
Does this game
feel good?
Does this game have, I didn't get super into it. I didn't spend a lot of time with it, but does this have sort of an autopilot kind of feature where
not that I know of, and it would be nice if it did.
You could set your budget and stuff, and then, if you came back in 3 weeks, some time has passed, and kind of like
SimCity.
Yeah.
That would be a nice feature.
Things keep going. And if you neglect it to come back long enough, your entire dynasty is in ruins. Right, exactly.
I think if you had that and mouse support, I think the game would get a lot better.
We talked about this last week as to whether or not we speculated as to whether or not this game had mouse support. Does it? I never thought to look.
I don't think it does. It also came out on the Genesis, so I know for sure that the Genesis doesn't have mouse support.
And came out before Mario Paint, so
Okay.
I'm assuming that.
Oh, maybe
that
the mouse wasn't
that
even
it
around
didn't.
yet.
No,
Okay.
the mouse came out along with Mario Paint.
Right.
And you know what? Honestly, I should have tried it just to see, but I didn't. Mainly because I played it on the Steam Deck. And that's another reason why I played it as long as I did, because it was like, this fucking rules. I'm in bed. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm in bed. I got fucking The Simpsons on the TV while I'm playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, this is a good one of those games. I feel like where it's like something can be playing in the background while you do it.
Yep, you're right, 100%.
You don't
It's
have
like
to
fishing in Final Fantasy with Everybody Loves Raymond on the background.
Right. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. And then like another thing that I think is cool about the game, but also one of the reasons that it was time consuming for me. I thought of this, Tyler, when you were talking about the tutorial, the fact that there's no tutorial, and Ian, when you were asking about like an autopilot. I think it is interesting that you can call meetings with your employees and they will give you insights and like advice on what they think you should do. And this might be one of the reasons why it took me forever to get through a quarter. I listened to all of them and like, you know, it's like, and it's kind of, instead of reading the manual, the way that I learned to play the game is, oh, okay, they're telling me I need to do this. Why are they telling me to do that? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then like
they wouldn't be telling me
Right.
if it wasn't something I need to be doing.
And then
kind
I'd
of thing.
start trying to do stuff on my own and then go back to them for feedback. And see if it worked or not. And that kind of like experimentation started to become really fun. But I do again wish that it could have been like, I mean, I was emulating, and I probably could have just played it at like 1.5 times speed, and it would have like solved my big issue with the game.
So top 100. I'm sorry, Chris. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm gonna add a section here before we get to that. Did you guys come up with any particularly good names for your airline? Because it does let you. And I'm only asking this because I'm really proud of the one I came up with.
I saw yours, so I know what it is. It is really good.
What was yours, Chris?
So you can fit Good Air in there. I didn't realize you guys were like a week and a half ahead, so that's when I posted that. I was like, oh no, I gave it away. But yes, Good Air. I'm going to retire undefeated with that. I'm just going to stick with that.
That's awesome.
Well, that's incentive for everybody to be on Discord and pay attention on Discord.
That's right. You might get some spoilers.
That's right. Exactly.
Little Easter eggs.
Mm-hmm.
About buy, rent, or birthday for everybody else.
I would have I wouldn't have rented this. I would have been fine if someone had gotten this for me as a gift, which is probably the most likely scenario.
Sure.
Because I wouldn't have bought it on sight alone, you know. Even if I thought it was a flight simulator, I'd be like, I don't think so. You know, like,
right.
I have a shitty looking one on the PC. Thank you. And it's fine. You know?
and imagine how disappointed you'd be if you thought it was a flight simulator.
Right.
This is what you got.
Right. Exactly. So I wouldn't have bought it. I wouldn't have rented it. But yeah, this is one of those where it's like if an aunt or something had got it for me as a gift and I sat down and played it, it'd be like, probably wouldn't have liked it at first, but considering it's 1993.
Let's see.
It's June. It's 1993.
Dave's aunt looking. He said he wanted a game for the Nintendo. It was Aero something.
Let's
Arrow
give him a tape.
Arrow the No, that's
No,
not
it was
right. It was Aerobiz. That's the one.
Man,
I'm going to get him this tape right here.
This Nintendo tape.
I would have. I much prefer. I know. Even at the time, probably would have been like, okay, yeah, Aerobiz over Aero.
Yeah, I'll go with you on that. Ian, buy, rent, birthday.
Buy for me.
Chris, I'm gonna assume buy for you.
Yeah, it would have been a buy for me.
So top 100, bottom 100, in the scope of the SNES games we have played, where would you place it?
Look, I think that a good simulator, a good tycoon type game has a place in the top 100, and I think this could easily fill that slot. Now, I don't have a lot of experience with the types of games like this on the SNES, nor do I know if there are even that many. But I do know that I think for what it is, I do think it belongs I think it belongs in a slot in the top 100. Just because I think the top 100 should include as many genres
I think
as
there's
possible.
an argument to be made for that. Yeah.
So
just Supersonic, not original Aerobiz.
Yeah, I would say Supersonic for sure.
Yeah, I feel like there's not a lot of point in playing Aerobiz, honestly.
Yeah.
Just because I think Supersonic does everything Aerobiz does and some more.
Well, there's
And
more cities. There's more, just more
So I go
altogether.
back to Street Fighter 2 after you've played Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Right.
So I mean, I understand your argument, and I'd expand it to I'd put it in my top 200 probably.
Mm-hmm.
And I would agree with Tyler. Yeah, I think 200. Realistically, I think top 100 it couldn't make it, but 200, yeah.
Dave,
it'd be somewhere in the middle for me. Yeah, I mean top middle.
top middle.
Yeah, and I want to apologize. I was way off in when Mario Paint came out. Mario Paint came out in '92, so
Oh.
so I don't know.
Maybe it's hidden in there.
Maybe it does
would
work. I should have tested it. But
Probably not.
watch The Simpsons instead.
Yeah.
Well, we want to see how much it costs, Flopsy, all that.
Yeah, how much do you guys think you'd pay for this game if you bought it loose? We could do each one if you want. How about we can start with Aerobiz?
Let's see. I would say Aerobiz would probably be... Well, and I'm going to put that this game was 3 stars, uncommon, and that it would probably run today used $27.
Okay. I'm not going to remember all this, unfortunately.
I will.
It's a lot of stuff.
I'll change mine as needed to sound
Please,
right.
Yeah. Please. It's not like we're recording it or anything.
No. Oh God, we're not. No.
Man, you fucking had me for a second. You had me for a second. The thought was immediately in my mind, oh, well, I guess we just have a first part.
I got good news. It's all on internal mic.
Chris, why don't you go ahead? What do you think about the cost of Aerobiz and Supersonic?
So I'm going to say I think Supersonic is more expensive than Aerobiz because I feel like it was a little later, maybe sold less. I did buy a copy of Aerobiz Supersonic on the Genesis like 10 years ago, and it was $20 then. But I'm going to say more like let's just say Supersonic's $75 and 2 stars and uncommon.
Okay.
Because I think Aerobiz. I would think my logic will be that, it merited a sequel and they put more budget, produced more games, so Supersonic would be less expensive than Aerobiz. So $45 for Aerobiz, $35 for Supersonic. Aerobiz being 3 stars, Supersonic being 3.5 stars. And I think one is Aerobiz is... Both I think are uncommon.
I'm going to say that I didn't weigh in on Supersonic. I said Aerobiz would be 3 stars, uncommon. I think I think I'm with Tyler that Aerobiz Supersonic will be 3.5, common, and $20.
I think you bring up a good point. With Supersonic being a sequel, that's wild to me that Aerobiz was successful enough to warrant a sequel. It really is. Mm-hmm. I mean, it makes me wonder. Like, I don't know what Flopsy says about how common the game is, but it makes me wonder. Like, how it almost makes you think that this might be a very uncommon game because it's like, in order for Aerobiz to be successful enough for it to have a sequel, it must have been a small run, is my guess. Because if they did a big run, then it's going to be a loss,
That's
right?
a good point. Yeah. But I think the sequel would have gotten a lot more attention.
Yeah,
I think it would have been produced more.
I think it deserves it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do the prices. Actual retail value of Aerobiz for the Super Nintendo, loose on average, according to PriceCharting.com, at the time of this recording, is $30.25. Supersonic, on the other hand, is $54.06. Let's see what Flopsy has to say. According to the Ultimate Nintendo Guide to the SNES Library 1991 through 1998 by Pat Contry, courtesy of Monster Mold Mike and a shadowy benefactor, they gave Aerobiz 3.5 stars.
Okay.
Wow.
I was a half star short on that one.
And it is an uncommon game.
Okay. I had that right.
Aerobiz Supersonic, they gave 3.5 stars.
Yay.
And it is a very uncommon game.
Very uncommon. Okay.
So I guess Aerobiz was successful enough to have a sequel with a limited release.
More limited run, yeah.
I think it's wild that
they
gave
found
it,
their audience probably
Right.
with the first one, and then the second one was like, if you liked Aerobiz,
we put a little more
put
polish
a
on
little
it.
polish on there. Yeah.
I think it's wild that they rated them both 3.5 stars. Because I think Supersonic is like immediately,
Right.
like it's immediately apparent that it is a superior.
It should have been
version.
3 and 3.5
Right,
in my
yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, just the cities alone. Like there's so many more cities to go to in the second game.
For sure.
Yeah, and you don't even have like in Aerobiz, the first one, that meeting that I was talking about, it exists, but they don't give you specific advice.
It's just like, good morning.
Right? No, it's like sales are up. Great.
This could have been an email.
Why are
Sounds
sales
good.
up?
It's all Zoom calls now.
What I think would be really, really interesting is a version of this, like a modern remake of this game, which I know there are like flight management games that are modern and exist, but I want it to be like this overlaid with a life sim, kind of like how like Persona, where you have this like daily life kind of thing, but you also have to manage.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, that would be great. You got your little avatar guy walks home and fucking pours himself a drink real sullen. Like,
Right.
I'm so fucking tired.
Yeah, I would.
That would be
You
great.
could manage relationships in different cities because you can fly for free on the airline.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'd play. I
Yeah.
would play that. I really would, because like that would scratch the itch that I want from Persona, because I love that life sim stuff in Persona. I love it. And then instead of dungeons, we can manage an airline, which I mean, I don't know, sounds pretty good too.
Coming up with some pretty good game ideas tonight, fellas.
So you guys have any achievements?
I do.
Ian, what you got?
My first achievement is Aerobiz the Acrobat.
Boo.
To earn this achievement, you lose a bunch of money, then come back from that, and then lose everything in 2020 and have to shutter your airline.
Yay!
Yay, you win.
Brought me back around.
My second achievement is the Tarantino effect. And to earn the Tarantino effect, in Aerobiz Supersonic, complete one flight from New York to LA, 2 flights from Washington, D.C. to L.A., and 1 flight from Washington, D.C. to San Francisco in September 2001 without incident. Now, I need to clarify. I used New York in place of New Jersey for one of the flights, and I used Washington to replace Boston for 2 of the flights because Boston and Newark aren't in the game.
It didn't exist yet.
So, anyway, yeah. That's my 2 achievements. I told you I had some more 9/11 shit.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it.
Dave, you got anything?
Yeah, I've got some achievements. I've got my first achievement is I am serious and don't call me Shirley. In order to unlock I am serious and don't call me Shirley, finish the last scenario in Supersonic on maximum difficulty and name your airline Shirley.
I love it.
Next achievement I have is Joey, have you ever been in a Turkish prison? In order to unlock Joey, have you ever been in a Turkish prison? You get fucked by a Middle Eastern war the turn after connecting a flight in that region.
Oh, no.
Did that happen to me? It did. I unlocked that achievement. Next achievement is, wait a minute, I know you. You're Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You play basketball for the Los Angeles Lakers.
No, I'm not, kid.
In order to unlock, wait a minute, I know you. You're Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You play basketball for the Los Angeles Lakers. You start a game with LA as your headquarters.
All right.
But you skip every turn that takes place in the last and first fiscal quarter because that's during the basketball
season. I love it. That was a good one.
Chris, do you have any achievements?
Okay, so I have 4.
Ooh, good.
So I'm gonna bring the first one around to a Golden Girls reference. So on the opening credits to Golden Girls, a plane is landing in Miami in silhouette, and that plane is a Boeing 727. So the first achievement is thank you for being a friend. Starting an all 727 airline out of Miami.
Nice.
Perfect.
Number 2, we'll also need a little explaining, as any good joke. So Seattle is the home of Boeing commercial airliners. There's a few that have been built other places, but generally Boeing is home in Seattle. So the second achievement is I don't want your life, and you unlock I don't want your life by making an airline and flying every other brand of airplane to Seattle, and never giving them a Boeing plane once.
Nice. I love it.
Love that one.
I thought after the Golden Girls and you started bringing up Seattle, it's like he's going Frasier. He's going Frasier.
No, he went
Thought
Varsity
about it,
Blues.
but it couldn't.
Toss salad, ham and eggs.
Oh man. Okay. Number 3. This is return, but it's spelled RETVRN. So this is only play in the early era scenarios, the propeller era. I don't want to play future. Just give me that original prop stuff.
Nice.
And number 4 is the end of Innocence. And that's when you play your game, and when you get to September of 2001, you just take the cartridge out and fucking smash it.
Oh, nice. Glad I wasn't the only one.
That's what I got.
That's good.
Did a bunch of 9/11 shit tonight.
I've got 5.
Thank you.
Never say that again. I'm glad I'm not the
We're all
only one
on
who
the
did a bunch
list
of 9/11 shit tonight. We might want to just, can we just censor that whole, like just a long beep?
Nope. I'm not going to do it.
Okay, at least do mine, please.
All right, my first one is really you Guam it, and starting Guam.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
I bet that's really difficult. So Guam, the American Industrial Complex, buy from Lockheed Martin,
All right. All right.
and then the modern day Tokugawa Amitsu, operate exclusively in Japan, because he was the first emperor who did the isolationist policies and completely isolated Japan.
That's good.
Nice,
Actually.
that is good.
The Art of the Deal, go bankrupt.
Nice. Nice.
And then in Russia, plane fly you. Win with a Russian airline.
Hey.
Nice.
Good achievements.
Very good achievements.
Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
if you were to give this game a beard that sums up how you feel about it, what kind of beard would you give it?
The tight trimmed mustache of one Sully Sullenberger.
Oh, Sully.
Yeah,
He landed a plane.
he did. It
Yeah,
had
a
gooses
river.
in it.
If you were to give this game a pair of glasses, what kind of glasses would you give it?
The flying goggles of the Wright brothers.
Okay.
Appropriate.
Appropriate.
No possum or anything stuck on them or
No,
nothing like
I know
that?
this game was better. Yeah, no dead
not
possums
the-
needed.
Not the smashed windshield of a plane running into the World Trade Center.
Fuck. Do
Well, you guys want to take a break and we'll hit Community Corner?
you want to see what we're going to play next?
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Let me go over and get this batter up peripheral.
We're not done yet. We
Plug
still
it
got
up.
like 400
You're right.
goddamn games to do.
You're right. All right. Plug it up. Put my head on it, turn my on a hole, Water Crazy Kid style. Say the prayer. We all love to say. So happy, stop.
135.
New one?
Nope.
Fuck.
Is it fun to guess, or do you want me to just tell you? I always wondered this.
No, it's fun to guess.
Okay, it's in the D's.
D's.
Mm-hmm. D's nuts.
D's.
Fuck. I was gonna say it, and I chose not to.
Never choose not to say it.
Choose not to. I'll never learn.
Don't forget your training.
I've been on this show for so long, and I'll never fucking learn.
Refer to page 35 of the TADPOG Employee Handbook.
When given the opportunity to say D's nuts, you should say D's nuts.
Ian, I think you're a valuable employee, but I am going to have to issue a write-up.
You missed
I haven't even gotten my second verbal warning yet.
As you can see, this is a serious infraction.
I can't even think of a game that starts with D.
It's Disney's.
Oh, Disney's Aladdin?
It is Aladdin.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have done it. Have we? Do you want to do the Genesis version?
No.
Okay. All right. Spin again.
Whammies, whammies, whammies. Stop.
3, 3, 8.
The H's?
It's the M's.
M's.
Mm-hmm.
Have we done it?
We have.
Fuck. Here we go.
Mystic Quest, Final Fantasy.
It's like Mortal Kombat,
But Mortal Kombat 2.
but metal.
Metal.
Oh, Metal Kombat.
Metal Kombat, Falcon's
Good
Revenge.
Stuff. Good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
We can see if there's a ROM hack of that.
Shit, that would be fun.
There probably
How
is.
hard would that be to play?
Yeah, I don't think there's a ROM hack of of a light gun game, of a Super Scope game. Like, man, you imagine you're like, man, I bet 5 people will play this thing that I put a bunch of love into.
It's all the trains from Thomas the Tank Engine.
Blaine
Or
from fucking
Shrek. You have to fight him over and over again on every planet. Whammies. Stop.
1.
No
30
way.
minutes European Prime goal.
1. That's not it. This is a North American only list.
We've done it?
We have.
The Seventh Saga.
Mm-mm. You're close. What is our most viewed YouTube video?
Three Ninjas Kick
Three
Back.
Ninjas Kick Back. That's right. Ding.
All right. Whammies. Stop.
270.
Have we done it?
No.
All right.
It's also our area code.
It's a
yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. Shit. 270. So
270.
F's.
the E's.
It's the K's.
K's.
K. Ooh.
Every kiss begins with it.
K. Kid.
No.
Kid.
Cow.
With a K.
Cow with a K.
Cowboys of Moo Mesa.
Cowabunga. Sa.
Key.
Key. Yes.
Oh,
yes. Kawasaki Caribbean Challenge.
Oof.
Okay.
Oof.
Kawasaki Caribbean Challenge.
Sounds like it's going to be right up Tyler's alley.
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
hey guys, I'm busy next week.
Bullshit.
You signed a contract.
Is there a line of Kawasaki games?
There is another one right below it. Kawasaki Superbike Challenge. You want to do both
Let's
of
knock
those?
them out. Let's
Yeah.
knock them both out.
It looks like they have different publishers, so I'm not sure how similar they are, but if we're okay with that, okay.
The
let's
same
do it.
word is in the title of both games.
I mean, yeah, 66% of the title's
Yeah.
the same, right? So, I mean,
So I'll give it a big 66% effort.
okay. Okay. All right.
I think the fact that you guys landed on number 1 today gives you the right to kind of make some special choices here if you want.
Well, we've
pretty
always got the right to turn the key and pick something we want to play other than this, but I don't
Yes.
think it's worth doing that yet. Do you?
We're going to have to do these eventually.
Yeah.
And
I'm always down to combine and knock out extra ones.
And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I have a morbid curiosity about these games too. Like this definitely like this hits me in a certain way where it's like, okay, all right,
Well, in
this is going to
racing-
be awful, but like how, like,
Yeah.
is it going to be
Yeah.
surprisingly like okay, or is it going to be like real fucking
Or is
bad?
it- yeah.
Well, and racing games are sort of in my wheelhouse, so I'm hoping that's what this is, and maybe
We'll
I'll get some
see.
enjoyment out of it.
We'll see.
We'll see. We ready to take
Head-
5 and go
Head on down to community
get
corner.
to the community
Sure.
corner?
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back, everybody.
We better get back now, Joey.
No, Joey can stay here for a while if he'd like.
Could I? Okay, if you don't get in the way.
Flight 209er to Denver Radio. Climbing to cruise at 42,000. We'll report again over Lincoln. Over and out.
Wait a minute. I know you. You're Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You play basketball for the Los Angeles Lakers.
I'm sorry, son, but you must have me confused with someone else. My name is Roger Murdoch. I'm the co-pilot.
You are Kareem. I've seen you play. My dad's got season tickets.
I think you should go back to your seat now, Joey. Right, Clarence?
Oh, he's not bothering anyone. Let him stay here.
All right, but just remember, my name is Roger Murdoch. I'm an airline pilot.
I think you're the greatest, but my dad says you don't work hard enough on defense. And he says that lots of times you don't even run down court. And that you don't really try, except during the playoffs.
The hell I don't. Listen, kid. I've been hearing that crap ever since I was at UCLA. I'm out there busting my buns every night. Tell your old man to drag Walton and Lanier up and down the court for 48 minutes.
I want to start this segment by saying that I love my wife very much. And I don't normally I don't normally say things like that on the show, but I need to preference what I'm about to say with I love my wife very much. But man, she puts shit in the Amazon cart and doesn't buy it, and it just sits there. She uses it like a list.
A wish list.
And it's like, homie, I want to buy shit. And in order to do it, I have to if I don't want to buy now, I got to remove all the stuff that
Save
you
for
put in
later.
there and put it in a list. Why don't you just do it first?
Do the list.
Yeah. No,
Anyway.
I'm in that same boat. yeah. I'm glad they added the buy it now button. So I can just
But what I don't like about the buy it now is okay, I have multiple cards on the Amazon account. Which one did I set up for buy it now? I don't know.
Yeah.
Am I going to have to go in and change the order? Yeah, probably. There's about an 80% chance that, yep, I'm going to have to do that.
welcome on down to community corner.
Community corner.
Community corner.
Kawasaki community corner.
Yeah.
That's next week.
Kawasaki. Hee-haw. Brought to you by Kawasaki. That's not too far off, actually.
I think we got a quiz, right?
We have a quiz.
Good old quiz.
One quiz that came in from one Ross Rachel Green from across the pond.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
This quiz is entitled It's a Me, a Super Mario Bros. Quiz.
Okay.
Ross begins. I know I am going off piste, P-I-S-T-E. Is it a British word?
Sure.
I guess so.
He's going off it with the quizzes. But the Super Mario movie was released, and it's wonderful.
I still have not seen it.
Sal Knopp was not a fan. He's the only person I've talked to about it.
Yeah?
Yep.
Well, I talked about it.
Oh, that's
You
true.
did
I
talk
talked-
about
I
it.
talked about it, Tyler. Not
That
just-
was the other guy.
Not just Zalop. Zalop.
Zalop.
His opinions are so bad I can't even pronounce his name right. Ross continues. Okay, it's not very deep and jumps from scene to scene a lot, but it's a children's film for small minds. It's true. Full of references no one under 30 would get, so I give it quite a lot of room for that. Here. Ross continues. Plus, if you haven't seen it yet, an Argentinian TV station aired the whole thing and it ended up online. So absolutely do not perform searches for it online or you might see illegally obtained content. So anyway, here's a quiz about our favorites favorite plumbing family, the Mario Brothers. Are we ready to begin?
Yes. Yes.
All right. What year did the first Mario game come out? And this is going to get fucking hairy as shit because
I'm
it's
assuming
like,
that's the OG, like, Battle Royale Mario and Luigi.
is it Mario Brothers
Crabs.
or is it Donkey Kong or, like what are we counting as the Mario game? Not that I know the answers to all of those, but
I think Mario Brothers has the name Mario Brothers
Right.
in the title.
That's what I'm gonna assume it is, and if I'm wrong, then we get it right.
okay. What year did that come out?
81.
I think it's 80 or 81.
Yeah, no fucking clue.
I think
Before I was born.
Donkey Kong, I think, is 80. I want to say like 83, but I could be wrong on that.
might be.
Ian, you're the oldest.
Thanks for reminding me. I seem to remember because I played the first Mario game I played that wasn't Donkey Kong. And what if he's talking about fucking Donkey Kong?
I know. That's what I'm saying. Who knows?
But we got to count Mario Brothers, the one in the sewer where you hit the crabs and the turtles and shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that was it, and I'm gonna say it was 81.
Okay.
I saw a really good YouTube short about how you could clip through that brick and go all the way up.
Where'd you see that?
I don't remember.
You said YouTube short, but you sure it wasn't a Discord short?
Maybe, I don't know.
It seemed like it was intended for YouTube, but no, it wasn't on YouTube when I saw it.
So I should know what year this game came out because of that short. But
We should put our shorts up on the Discord.
Yeah, we should. We should do that.
For everyone.
Or put on the
Put 'em on
TADPOG.
fucking TADPOG YouTube, yeah. Dane.
I'm 81. Locking it in.
Let's do it.
81.
1981. It is 1985. That's Super Mario Brothers for
that
the
seems-
NES.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
I'd say that is a very broad question, so disqualified.
But I am going to take a moment and I'm going to look up Mario Bros. Just because I really want to know what year it came out. Oh boy, when you search Mario Bros.
Argentina!
Is a 1983 arcade game. So,
What's Donkey Kong?
Donkey Kong.
Conky Dong.
Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong.
1981.
Okay, I must have been in Donkey Kong mode when I was thinking 81.
But so the question was not specific enough.
I have a Donkey Kong mode too, but not too many people get to see it. Next.
So we get that right by default.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got it.
We got it.
Next question.
We named one of those years.
I got the year. I got a year right for a different
If we said
game.
82, we wouldn't get it right.
Right.
But 81 was one of them.
Right. It was one of them. Next question. How many levels were in the first game? Okay, so we're definitely talking about Super Mario Brothers at this point, right?
Yes.
8 worlds, 4 levels per world, right?
We're talking minus world?
So 32.
Oh, no.
That's not a real world. I saw a YouTube short about that as well. That didn't get finished.
Oh.
And that's not, you don't count that. That's
I hope not.
No, you don't count that.
If he does, though, we get it right.
Right. Yes, of course.
We'll get all of these right by things that we come up with.
Yes.
Yep.
Right.
So 32.
So 32. Right? We
Okay,
good with
yeah.
this?
Sure.
Locking it in. It is 32.
Okay.
Bing.
Next question.
31 if you count minus world. So it's a negative, so it takes off.
Oh,
one.
fuck. 28 if you do Japanese minus world, because there's 4 of them.
There we go.
Levels, Jerry. Next question. What are Goombas called in Japan?
Karibu?
Yeah. Yeah, Karibu. Locking it in. It is Karibu. Karibo. We're counting it.
Yep. That's my accent.
We're counting it.
I said Karibo, but
counting
my country accent, Karibu.
Am I studying Japanese? Yes. Should that be wrong? Probably. But it's right. Karibo.
It means dirty underwear if you say it that way.
Perfect. This works out both ways. Next question. What type of mushroom are Goombas based on? This is a Tyler. I feel like this is a Tyler question. But maybe not, because they're probably poisonous, right? And you don't cook with poisonous mushrooms typically.
Shiitake mushrooms, maybe?
Shiitake would be my guess too. But
Right? Yeah, I'd say that's probably right.
Agree.
okay. Shiitake, logging it in. It is shiitake!
Hey!
Next question.
Or shit takes, as I thought it was playing Chrono
Shit
Trigger.
takes.
Shit takes. Shit takes.
Yeah, right. Man, that fucking shit take was extra shitty. Next question. Who is Koji Kondo? That is the composer of the music for a lot of Mario games. Specifically, I guess we're looking for Super Mario Brothers. Yes?
Yeah.
Locking it in. The game's composer. Yes. Okay. Next question. In the Super Mario Sunshine game, Mario uses a tool strapped to his back to clean up messes on Isle Delfino called Flood. What does Flood stand for?
Oh, fuck. I know this, and I can't think of it.
Is it spelled like F-L-U-U-D?
It's F-L-U-D-D.
Okay.
Double
Yeah,
D.
Double
FLUDD.
toot.
Little Estes device, right? Dispensing device.
Yeah.
I played
Flour lubricated underwater dispensing device.
Like the flour that grows or like the cooking flour?
Both. Yes.
And if that's not it, Ross is wrong.
Because I can sort of see it. I am the
Right.
dispensing device.
Mhm. I don't even know if dispensing device is correct. I
I think
just
that sounds
assumed
right.
that's
Yeah.
Yeah, I played the
L could be
game
liquid.
recently, like 6 months ago, but I can't remember what it was called. I should know, but I do not.
I mean, it's the least of the Mario games, so I think we could forgive ourselves for not getting it.
Go for it.
All right. Flour, lubrication, underwear.
Fluoridated liquid urine dispensing device.
Fluoride water is poison.
Turn the frickin' frogs gay.
Locking it in. It is Flash Liquidizer Ultra Dowsing Device.
That's worse. I like that less than what Tyler said. So it's wrong.
Next question. In which game did Mario first encounter the poison mushroom?
Lost levels.
Super Mario Brothers 2, Japan. Otherwise, yeah, Lost Levels, right?
Yep.
Locking it in. It is Super Mario Brothers, The Lost Levels.
Okay.
Next question. In which game did Mario get tired and take a nap when the player was idle? It's Odyssey, right?
Yeah.
The bird lands on his
I think
nose.
it is. I think it is.
Did that start in
Odyssey.
64 though?
He doesn't say what game did it start.
Okay,
He
so
says,
we get it right no matter
in
what.
which game did Mario get tired and take a nap when the player was idle?
Because I don't think he does it in Mario RPG.
I don't know if he does it in 64. He might.
I think, that does sound
It
familiar.
might be 64.
I'm standing by. He does take a nap in Odyssey, and he doesn't specify it has to be the first one.
List every single game Mario takes a nap in.
I mean, he does
Mario
nap in
Snapping Simulator.
in Mario RPG.
Super Mario Brothers 2.
He
The whole
sleeps at
thing's
the
a
end,
dream.
too, yeah.
Spoilers.
Yep.
Maybe that's it. Because the end game credits roll while the player's idle. You're not doing anything.
He's
you're,
taking a nap.
you're just watching the screen.
So if it's 2 RPG 64 or Odyssey, we got it
We
right.
got it right. All right. Locking it in. Are we good?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
I love it.
It is Super Mario 64, but he does it in Odyssey as well. And you didn't specify the first game in which he does it.
Yep. So that we're the best kind of right, technically right.
Next question. Also, great job, Chris. Next question. Which is the first Super Mario game? Now he's caught on. Now he's like, these motherfuckers, I bet in that last one, they're going to say Odyssey. And I didn't say first one. Which is the first Super Mario game where Mario's hat can be blown off his head?
It's Odyssey. right?
It definitely comes off his head in Odyssey.
Oh, he
but
says the first. He does say the first game.
He's cottoned on retroactively.
But you can't get it blown off in 64. He takes it off, but does it get blown off?
No, it does. Because isn't there a level in 64 where you have to chase the hat around?
I think you're
the
right.
rabbit?
I think you're right.
I don't know. I'm not a. I finished 64. Other than that, I mean, I haven't played a lot of it.
Galaxy.
I mean, I think Galaxy's a good guess too.
I think it's Galaxy. I say that because I don't feel like it would be the same answer for multiple questions.
I don't know. It is Ross.
It is Ross.
Trixie.
I bet it's Galaxy.
Do we want to take a? I don't have a guess. So we got a Galaxy.
I've never played Confession Corner. Never played Galaxy.
I haven't either. Chris, so you're not alone.
I've played it.
Me,
I finished it. Don't remember the hat coming off. Also, don't remember the hat coming off in 64 though. So I have no idea. Galaxy. That seems like the best guess we got.
Let's just go for it.
Locking it in. It is Super Mario 64.
Fucking hell. I said it first.
It is true.
And it is right.
So, Ross, you're wrong.
So you're wrong.
Next question. In the original Super Mario Brothers game, Mario's iconic overalls weren't blue. They were like a reddish brown, like a brick red.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Canvas.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Locking it in. And the answer is red. Okay. Next question.
Don't ask a graphic designer something about color, Ross.
Next question. Destroy one forever. Sega or Sony?
Sony.
I'm going to destroy Sega.
Sega did a good enough job destroying itself, Dave.
I want to see a world where what else would have happened if PlayStation hadn't entered the market.
I agree with that, but I don't want to live in that world.
Yeah.
I just want to see it through.
If I could like peek,
crystal ball.
If Sony doesn't, I don't think Microsoft does. So,
I would love to be playing a Dreamcast 5 right now, but yeah, I think you got to kill Sega.
Yeah.
I like Sorny better.
This is a genuine Sorny.
What? You've never heard of Panaphonic? What's wrong with you?
Next question. Destroy one forever. Hot dogs or hamburgers?
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
I'm with hot dogs.
100% hot dogs.
Okay, it's unanimous.
They're so much worse for you, and I don't think the taste was good.
No, hamburgers are amazing. I don't want to live in a world where there's no hamburgers.
Fuck no, man.
I would be if I knew that hamburgers could exist.
Hot dogs kill a lot of kids every year with choking.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. I remember the day where we could stop cutting up a hot dog to give it to Henry, where it's like, you're good to chew this, right?
Yes,
you know this doesn't go down.
Yeah.
We had that with Cohen as well, so yeah.
Making hot dog brunoise for Kenna, like little bitty hot dog cubes.
With the hamburger, and with the temporary crown, I've been doing searches where it's like, okay to eat blank. So I did a search for okay to eat hamburger, and you know how Google will like give you a snippet or whatever from like whatever the top search or whatever it is. I laughed. I literally laughed out loud where it was, if you are adamant in eating a hamburger, you may do so, but chew on and it was like the fact of it was tailored for me. Like they knew that I was adamant about eating a hamburger. Just that language was so nice. Next question. Destroy one forever. Lingerie, boxer shorts.
Boxer shorts.
Boxer shorts, man. That's a fucking no fucking brainer for me.
Agree.
Who is it?
I mean, we're talking about like lingerie, like, Fredericks of Hollywood garbage, or are we talking about like?
It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
More.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean the cheap shit. You
mean the cheap, real slutty garbage shit? Yeah,
the stuff where it's like we're wearing. This is like a one-time thing. Like this is Yeah, man. I hate boxer shorts. Like, I haven't worn boxer shorts since high school.
I can't handle that kind of freedom.
The freedom I like, and I know this is, I think, a Louis C.K. and Dane Cook joke. It's the water that just comes from when you're wearing boxer shorts. There's just water.
I've done a boxer brief for years now. So
boxer brief.
Give me the middle ground.
Mwah! Love a boxer.
I'm there too.
Yeah. Or if it's the weekend, fucking, it's great to go commando. Like, that's where I'm like, yeah, I love the freedom, because it's like, fuck, man, I don't have to.
Bathrobe. That's it.
Yeah, I don't own a bathrobe. Maybe if I did, it would change. It would change my life. But yeah, pajama pants or commando jeans.
Thank you, Ross.
Thank you, Ross.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you, Chris, for coming on.
I'm glad I could be on this episode.
We can't say it now. Can't say it this time.
Try to say it, not stumble over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit's on me. We'll figure it out.
Do we have anything else we want to go over or mention before we roll into outros?
Hope you bought a shirt.
Hope you bought a shirt. Yeah. I think it's too late if you haven't. And
just kidding. You probably still get one.
Yeah, if you want to.
I'm sure Chuck will be like, "Fuck me, these sales are horrible." Yeah, you take them.
Yeah,
we can get one more in.
if you want to buy, if you want to try to buy a T-shirt at this point, we're not sure if you can or not. We haven't talked to Robin a bit, but go to bossbattles.gg.
He doesn't talk to us anymore. The shirts did so fucking poorly. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's on you.
And thank you, Grim, for being our housekeeping angel, just sprinkling reminder shirts all over the Discord and on the stream.
Yeah.
But if you want to try that, go for it. bossbattles.gg/tadpog. If you are a donor and you want to order a shirt, you can get 10% off. You go to patreon.com/tadpog or pisstasters.com. Get your discount code.
Not Chris Tasters.
Not Chris Tasters. Yet. pisstasters.com. Get your discount code before you buy the shirt. And we'll let you know what we find out about those when that comes around.
So thanks for listening. Thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show on iTunes, not SoundCloud, Spotify, just all over. Just Google us. If you want to send us something, you send us something at Tadpog Studios, care of Nicole Nance, PO Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky 42002. You can call us 270-883-2555. There's more shit, but most importantly is that Patreon.
We do have a Patreon. If you'd like to give us money, which we use to help buy equipment, sometimes that equipment doesn't work out. Sometimes it does.
Yeah, they need equipment. Give them money.
But if you'd like to do that, all the money that gets donated to the show is used to keep us alive and keep the show going. And the show, we're glad to do it. We love to do it. The show is free. We never have a requirement. We're not going to have ads. We're not going to do things like that, at least not yet, to generate revenue. So every little bit counts. Patreon.com/tadpog if you'd like to get in on donating and be like our esteemed guest, Chris Edler, who is a member of a group that we like to refer to as our executive producers. These wonderful people donate $20 or more per month to the cause, and I'd like to read you the list of those people now to show our gratitude. We're going to start off with Usurper Grimm. God Emperor Alex Pena is back on the list, baby.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Cousin David Galino, Plinko Nick Price, Cubicle Monkey, Cthusiast Jeff Miners, Master Cycle Baron Kevin Link, Joseph Phillips, Gamebug Prime Nathan Eaton, Matt Gentile, a.k.a. Gentle G, Princess Consuela, Banana Hammock, Flavor Trick, Taryn Dahl, congratulations on your marriage, Pinball, Archmage, Chris Edler, we are so glad you could be on this episode. Platinum.
Hell
Yeah.
Platinum member Brett Miller, Sandwich Pope Phil Hawkins, Nate from Utah, first time caller, Drink Smith Joey Webster, Dig Dougie, Derek Pope Sandwich. Thank you all so much for your generous donations.
Yes.
It's super cool of you guys to do what you do for us every single month. And we are gonna do some calls next week, we think. We overcame the technology barrier in a different way.
Yep.
We're still working on that. I started off tonight's episode really in a pissed off mood because something we tried that I was very excited about did not work.
It's okay.
We fell back and punted, and now we know what we got to do next week, but we're going to do some calls.
Yes.
Just chill the fuck out, everybody.
Yeah.
Karen.
Phil
doesn't believe we're doing it.
I'm fucking doing it just to spite
See,
Phil.
That's why the reverse
his
psychology.
angle. Yeah, that's his angle.
Yeah.
And I said, what kind of pope doesn't have faith?
And then he said something about I can put meats and lettuce and cheeses between bread or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
This all happened on the Discord, which if you'd like to get in on the conversation and hear all
my
this
son pooped on the floor.
Hear all this weird shit we talk about in the Discord every day. Go to bit.ly/TADPOG Discord. I almost said Dispord.
We should start
do that.
Dispord.
Dispord.
Arthur, ask your dad about the floor poop. Ask him.
It'd be a great place to hawk all those Sornies we bought.
Oh yeah, the genuine Sornies.
The genuine Sornies and the Panavonics. And last but not least, I do want to extend our eternal and everlasting thanks to Backlog Vanisher Dane, who takes time out of his busy schedule every week to put our show up on YouTube. It's very, very nice of you to do this for us. And maybe we'll throw our we made an attempt at doing YouTube shorts. We were gonna put this into a whole thing, and it didn't work out. But we've got like 3 or 4 shorts that we finished. So maybe we'll throw those up somewhere for you guys to see on YouTube or maybe in the Discord. You could tell us how silly I sound talking about things that matter to me, I guess. I don't know. So anyway, spread the word, tell your friends, don't tell your family. They'll be ashamed of you if they knew you listened to this show.
Wait. Just because ours would doesn't mean that theirs would. So go ahead and try.
Sure, give it a shot.
Use your discretion.
Don't blame me
right
when they kick you out of the house forever.
Or just be like my dad, Tyler, you doing the blog tonight? Yeah, I am.
If they have any strong feelings about September 11th, maybe not this episode. Maybe don't tell them about this
anything
episode.
offensive
Don't tell
about
Pete
September
Davidson about this
11th.
episode.
I didn't say that you did. I'm just saying.
What are you trying to imply that September 11th might be a trigger for some people? I don't see how that's fucking possible.
All right, you got me there.
That's it. That's all I got.
Our theme song is Moves by Sycamore Drive. The link to that track on the show at TADPOG.com. Chris, how would you like to close this out?
Do you guys want to do Eric Clapton singing the Aerobiz theme song?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Kind of mournful, tropical Capricorn. Like maybe he knows September 11th is going to happen.
Oh, he knew. He knew.
Speaking of Eric,
Like Phil Collins watching that kid drown. Eric Clapton knew.
Speaking of Eric Clapton and triggers, you might have noticed tonight that my achievements they had a theme, and that was around the movie Airplane.
Right.
My original idea was
9/11.
a Tears in Heaven themed achievement list that ended with you leaving a window open.
No.
While playing Aerobiz with an unattended child in the room. Anyway, time to end the show.
Take it dark.
He said racist things.
See,
it's fine.
Shit I said was fine. The shit I said earlier was fine.
So until next time, Tropical Capricorn.
Eric Clapton is so fucking overrated.
Yeah.
Well, he's got that anti-vax song now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
And he had like this racist rant. Like, granted, it was a while ago, but still,
it kind of sticks.
It was
like
a
that
racist
sticks.
rant. So,
yeah. I've always been a David Gilmour guy.
Yeah.
I'm a Gilmour guy.
David Gilmour
Kramer. Michael Richards also had a racist rant a long time ago, but
yeah,
it still doesn't. We're not going to let it go.
I mean, yeah.
Nope, you shouldn't. Okay, fuck.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. I had like 4 or 5 good stories of working at the airlines that I could have told you guys, but I'll pull that out next time. I've still got them in my quiver whenever the time comes.
Okay. Well, you could tell us a story if you want right now. Just we could use it as a stinger.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, so as an aircraft mechanic, sometimes you will notice people in the terminal watching you do your job. So had a few situations where we had the engines opened up on a plane, which is normal, just like opening the hood on your car.
While it's in flight.
To you,
yeah,
it's
I mean,
normal.
yeah, you don't want it to happen when you're flying.
To
but,
me, I don't want
a
to
friend
see
of mine, we were both working on the plane, and the starter had broken. And one of the things you do to try to fix the starter on an airplane is tap it with a hammer to see if it'll start working. It's just a little valve. It's actually a thing you do.
You do that on a car too, actually. You can hit a
go.
starter with a hammer on a car to get it to turn over a couple more times.
Yeah, well, get a few more flights out of it. Maybe we'll change it tomorrow. It won't be my problem. That's the thought.
All right, I'm done.
Wow.
We're tapping on
I have
the
a
plane
flight in
with
a few
hammer,
months.
and we
I'll know.
see people in the terminal watching us do this, and like we can see the look on their face that they're terrified what we're doing. So after we notice that, then we start making like really animated shoulder shrugs, scratching our heads, and just hamming it up. Like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah, we did actually fix the part by tapping it with a hammer. It did start to work. So after we scratched our heads and shook our heads and just looked like we didn't know what we were doing, we patched it back up and sent it on its way. So I'm sure we scared at least 4 or 5 people that
You're
day.
scaring me.
It was all in good fun.
Everybody likes percussive maintenance.
So yeah, stuff like that. So
Were you
working at the
dressed as a
airline-
member of the Taliban while you were doing this?
No, not at all. It's just, so think of you guys working at Apex with a bunch of like 20-year-olds and very little supervision. That was my time working at the airlines when I was up there.
That sounds pretty great.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking awesome. So, and maybe not a great thing to tell a lot of stories about, but it's been like 20 years, so I'm sure the statute of limitations is over for most of that stuff.
Well, you didn't mention any specific places that you were working.
Right. And 2 of them are out of business anyway. And I never did anything unsafe, but I did some funny shit. So.
Nice.
Load up the engine with silly string so that when it gets to 30,000 feet, they just explode silly string. Hey, everybody.
Yeah, in like a happy way.
Yeah.